goodness. It wouldn't be Saturday unless it was, and it is. So here we go, and indeed here we are. Sorry, just checking the old camera there. It looked like I was fizzing. I'm not, so that's a bonus there. Hello, friends. Saturday again, and your last chance for a bit of Out of Awe for the time being. It can be revisited. The save is immaculate. Look, I wasn't going to do this right away. I was going to do some. I'll tell you what. I'll do a little bit of look at what we're looking at, and then I'll fly while doing the hellos because the flying takes a little while. I'm in a drone. You might be able to see my shadow somewhere. You might not be able to see my shadow somewhere. I've got a shadow, and you can see it somewhere. It's anyone's guess. Where are we? We're at the lower mine, which is where the road team have built the road up to. The last bit leaves a little bit to be desired. I'm not going to lie, and they're not going to pretend otherwise. It's a bit on the steep side. Some of the legs on the last, maybe 3-4 legs, need elongating so the slope can be a smidge smoother. But we're not actually bothered about the lower mine today. Right now, the upper mine, which is where the... Oh no, look, there's me rotor blades. The upper mine is exporting everything down toward the lower mine, but the upper mine, where we started, was maybe a smidge ambitious with regard to you know where we're heading. Let's head this way. There you go. See, I told you it was slow. How are you going to do this and say hello to people at the same time? Well, I'll do a few. How are you going to scroll? With difficulty. What if I was to go out tap? No, it did not auto drive. Oh, for an auto drive button. This game is crying out for an auto drive button, I'm not going to lie. Definitely needs one. Some kind of just, no, that's the brakes, you nana. Down, please. Down, 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 down. Oh, this is high quality flipping streaming action. This is absolutely terrific. We're going to go down towards this cluster of people, one of whom is on the naughty step and has not yet confessed. I'll tell you why shortly. Anyway, let's say hello to people. Who should we say is first? We'll go with Dusky Dusk. Dusky Dusk is probably probably helloing first, followed by Who's the and AC Locomotive Group and Career Insincere and Lady Katie Louise. Mind Games Cabal and Rod Stewart, along with Toby Dawes and Scorpio and Nex and Rusty IT Nerd. Mr. B, aka TBS Twister, tab. Scroll. Right, good. Onwards. Snore and Steady Bob and Jenny and Skip. Hello, Skip. Yorkshire Phaser is here. So is Liam. Down, not up. We're high enough up already. Liam and Red Shark and Gasman and Black and Sky and Sleepyhead. Sophie, Mobius Flight, Aaron, The Quiltless, Techie, Menso, Synesthesia, who's been a member for 61 long months, and apparently penguins made him push the button before stealing his pizza. Now, if you hang out on the Fail Brigade Discord, you'll know that there is a disproportionate amount of penguin chatter in the random noise channel. Why? Oh, I don't know. But it keeps them out of trouble. Then Tim and Janelli, Michelle, tab. Scroll. Oh no, we scrolled too far. No, it's okay. It's good. Followed by Blaster and Paddy, along with Farmer Dad and Rod. Synesthesia Off the Rails. Michael. Hexacon, who's in here somewhere. Major High Drama and Pink Suit Guy. Arta Cuck even. Or Cook, perhaps, given the spelling. Mrs. Binnacle, regular size Binnacle, Allo Squared, Ian, T-Bone, Dralu, Edward, Mr. Wibblejibber, Average John, 1985, Richard, and David, tab. We're getting closer to where I'm going, don't worry. But I'm multitasking because I'm skilled. Did you say David? I think I might have done. But let's say it again. David. Yeah. Blake and One Fox 2-1 and Bristol Boy and Matty. Mike. Edward again, possibly. Mkinator, Peter, Julius Hardware, Pioneer, Noni, LDSK, Matt and Duke Spanglefin. Sterloin and Elzar and Vaitam. Why not? Pete Smells, well, don't we all? William and AD. tab. Oh, for crying out loud, this is pitiful. This was not a good idea. Kevin and Rob and Neptune and Jacob H, FH Bones, Typo Negative, Dave, Eduardo, who is also in here representing the road crew, Canadian Buzzard, Nexus Dog, Yan, Yo Choco Tube. Yan has been a member, incidentally, for 61 long months. What's wrong with you, Yan? That's a personality defect you've got going on there, but I'm incredibly grateful. Spud, the brother Kane, and Egdod, Exia, who is also here somewhere. Royston, Super Noob, Posh English Bloke, not Posh English bloke, which I can't say. Posh English Bloke, better name. Mike has been a member for 30 long months, having rediscovered the button, zero skill, and Ricardo, Dan, Elzar. I'm pretty sure I said you already, Elzar, but hello, Elzar. Dan, good. Right, there we go. There's some autosave happening. I thought the autosave had just happened. Well, it's happening now. Okay, groovy. Right, what are this bunch of clowns up to? Well, I'm glad you asked. Oh, there's a shortcut to get to the last bit. Oh, good. Sorry, brain just kicked in. As it gets dark and we can't see anything. Yeah, it's a smidge unfortunate. This is the road. Now, as you can possibly make out there, although the combination of rain and a little bit of fog and the darkness is making it hard to see, there's a Y fork in the road there, one of which heads up to the hill climb, heading up to the lower mine, and the other of which heads to the quarry where I was operating last week, and will likely be operating some of this week as well. Yeah. But this road leaves a little to be desired. It's a bit bumpy. It's not it's not equally wide in all places. There's hills that need demolishing, and so the road crew have rocked up in force in order to turn it into something beautiful, after which it will receive asphalt for the very first time. And they won't have laid any already, because they will have understood clearly that that's the kind of thing we want to show on the stream. No, it definitely looks like, there's work happening here. Lots of work from working people. Yeah, loving it. Yep. Yeah, no, it's all good. We got a lot of digging. Excess smoothing is occurring right here, right now, and that's what we like to see. Needs a grader. The grader's actually pretty complex to use and to get it done right. It needs some practice. Jeff, shut up. What were you saying? Yeah, something. I've been interrupted. I've been heckled by my cat, as per flipping usual. Well, say hello. What's this scrunch in your eye? No. Let me. And this one. There you go. Cat and ice. Don't flim yourself into me drink, you peasant. Pink Suit Guy's been a member for 21 long months. Nice. So you need some dry humour there. Okay. Right, here we are. This is town. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the place. And over the course of the week, yes, Jeff, I created a little dumping spot here for stone, which has already been ground up, which cycles round endlessly until it is turned into gravel, which is then put into this storage doodad here. He'll stop eventually, and then he'll stop putting me off, and I won't have to chuck him out the door. After this point, the plan was to then have it turned into asphaltable material, which apparently is something that is now automated, but it doesn't look automated to me. It looks insane. And I'm not seeing anything that would actually I don't see an asphalter. Lily needs a pick and a spade. All right, hang on. Players, yes. There's too many managers in here. Too many managers by far. You have to show a level of trust with people. But you see, if you show a level of trust with people, you end up. There you go, Lily. You're all set. You end up in a situation where someone blows your cold opening. And that's not a euphemism, although it could. Look, I built something elegant and tasteful, and what we've got here is spaghetti that appears to be flowing in the wrong direction. I'm going to leave them to it. It's fine. I've said I will be a little bit less fastidious in the future with regard to telling people what they can and can't build. I'm going to let them have their own fun to some extent. The town is coming along, and today it will come along further. I'm going to jump out of this drone. I'm going to get it down to the point where other people can use it should they wish to. Yeah, okay. Let's just park it up here. It's not very quick, this drone, and that's okay because it does keep in with the theming of the thing. Right, jump out. I'm over here. Right, this is something else I built this week. This is the auto loader. I've leveled up. Hooray! The auto loader at the Quarry. Basically, what happens? You park your... Where are we? Here we go. You park your truck underneath there, and when there is crushed rock, see, it's purposefully designed, so which obviously whoever drove this last didn't realise. But if you line up your front wheels with the cone, you're in the perfect loading position. Huh? Yeah, bit of snaz. Well thought through. Intentional design. I could go down there and show you the inner workings, and I might later on when it's lighter, but I'm not going to do it now because I have to dig my way back out again because I'm waiting until we can manufacture metal, and that's going to be something that I will return to in a mere moment. So yeah, we dump the stone which comes from the mine into the hopper. It flies over there, it gets crushed up and sorted out and mingled and smidged and blurbed, and it's just the crushed rock that ends up in the truck, which you drive up the road to the and it gets all of that. Here's my loader, which has been doing all my heavy lifting for me of late, and the opening for today's show was going to be, well, I've been doing quite a lot of quarrying lately, but the turbo on my loader's broken, and therefore it can't move. And so I parked up. Well, you would have to because it was broken. I left it there and stood in front of it so no one could get to it. And someone got to it, fixed it, and drove it back out, thereby ruining the opening of the show. So I decided to do a drone tour instead. There's very few things that I do that aren't intentionally deliberate. And the reason for that is that I put in place a rule early on in this, which is you're not allowed to put parts on a vehicle that you've bought from the shop. We've got to make them. So that we would have to come up with a means of making a replacement turbo for my wheel lifter. So that's that knackered then, and no one has fessed up to having been responsible for that. But hopefully the public shaming I am currently dishing out makes them go, oh yeah, I forget that this is a piece of video entertainment rather than, you know, I'm just being helpful. Yeah, see, sometimes being helpful is the antithesis of video entertainment. But hey ho, it's not the end of the world. Elzar slung a fiver in the bucket because he's pleased to hear Jeff briefly. Jeff's now cleared off, so that's all good. Jeff's particularly mardy today because the weather's not very nice, although it has cleaned up a little bit now. All right, you want to talk? All right, I'm going to give you 10 minutes worth of Transport Fever 3, okay? All right? Ask your question. I will only answer questions that I would answer on any Transport Fever 3 source. This is not where you come for Transport Fever 3, but I realise this is where you come to talk about Uncle Colonel Failure. That would be me. And my various professional alter egos that I use when working for a living, rather than this, which is what I do for funsies. Right, what? Well, you just destroyed that wall. Well, I needed to widen down here anyway, so that's fine. So, do I now work for Urban Games? Yes, I have done since February. If you're a regular viewer, you knew that already. Yeah, no. So I've been working there since February, in the capacity as community manager. People keep going like, oh, well done, community manager, what a great role. I kind of go, I've been a community manager in the games industry for 30 years. I was between gigs and focusing on doing a bit of this full time while I reevaluated life and my place in it. However, the nice people at Urban Games came to me and said, "Would you like to come and be our community manager?" And I said, "Well, I'm interested enough that we can have a conversation." So we had a chat about it, and that chat went in the favour that they possibly hoped. I'm very happy in the role. I think it's a fabulous company. I'm going to throw that cat outside in a moment. I think it's a fabulous company. They've got a really interesting work dynamic. It's really interesting. Is it great? It's a tricky. It's hard to. It's really interesting, is what I'll say. I've worked in a lot of places. I've worked for giant multinationals that you have heard of, such as Electronic Arts, Activision, and Sony. That's all the giant multinationals that I've worked for. I've worked for numerous indies, and I've worked for a couple of kind of medium-sized sluggers. I've worked in retail, digital retail, that is, and all sorts. But providing a bit of voiceover on a video, that's not that complicated. that's quite easy. The only thing I don't like about providing voiceover for a video of that kind is it has to be very formal. It has to be, a little bit marketing-y, and that's not my preferred modus operandi. But I realise, and I'm not against it. It's just it's not how I prefer to present myself. If that were the case, don't post it in the game chat, Lily. Post it in the stream chat. There's a place for all this stuff. For crying out loud, crossing multiple streams. Is the work philosophy what I expect? No and yes and no and yes and no. It's neither a good thing nor a bad thing. It's neither weird nor is it normal. It's a little bit unusual, but the team is fantastic. I'll tell you that for nothing. Well, it's a great team, really good team based out in Switzerland in Schaffhausen. Yeah, and I couldn't be happier working there. So there you go. So that was that. What was my role in the video that you just saw was... I'm not going to go into detail, but that video, to get that out, was an absolute mission. It was flipping so many hours work. You could have a guess at how many hours work it was. You would be wrong, and you would need to multiply it by a lot. A heck of a lot of work. I wrote the original script. I wrote the subsequent revisions of the original script. I did the voiceover, and I did quite a lot of the editing to get it to that point. I got a couple of shots in there. The volcano shot, that's one of mine. The temperate fly along, that's one of mine as well. And which is the other one? Oh, the one of the trucks coming into the factory near the end, that's one of mine as well. How many different people were taking shots? I think eventually 5 different people were taking shots for that video, something like that. So I needed formal voice work, and I'm more suited to a conversational tone, but I'm happy to do formal voice work. But it's designed to show off the game to people who maybe haven't heard of the game before, and therefore the Marmite-esque nature of my approach to slightly less formal toning isn't the right fit. It's something people need to get used to, and you kind of go like, So will there be a difference when I'm doing, when I'm working, when I'm on the clock? My tone will be different anyway. Even if I'm doing a live stream, it will not be quite as haphazard, not quite as... Here's an anecdote. Not quite as, oh, here's a topic of conversation. It will be focused all the time. It will be less whimsy. Fewer whimsy, more focus, because it will be entirely for the players of the game and not for the players of the game plus cult or semi-cult of personality that hangs out here. Okay? Yeah? Good? Yeah? Everybody happy? Everybody good? Everybody happy? My tone reminds you of the tutorial videos I'd done before. That's reasonable. I didn't script the tutorial videos, but I did take multiple swings at each line. So it's the purpose behind it is to be clear and easily understood. And that's why the tone is a little bit different, and it's a little bit less freeform, where frequently when I'm freeforming it, I'll and I'll and I'll reiterate the same point multiple times. But at the same time, much like I play games, where when I'm playing a game, I'll encounter something unexpected, and that will lead to a moment of delight, a moment of interest, a moment of maybe tangential fun times, and that's great, and that's what makes the videos work. When I'm free-forming conversationally, like now, it can have the same effect. I'll say something that will trigger another thought that will lead me off in a random direction, and obviously when it's scripted, that doesn't happen so much. So there you go. Yeah, I did sound a bit scripted. Yeah, it's a very different tone of voice. And that's also why in my with my superhero uniform on, where I'm working, I use a different nom de guerre. In written form, you will know me as protagonist, and then because people like it, I use my actual given first name, which I like my actual given first name, which is fortunate because it's the one I've got. And there are ways that you can change it. Because it is a different mindset. Fewer jokes, many fewer jokes when I'm in professional mode. So what it's not going to change. It's not going to change how I do these videos, because this is me being me. But it won't. But you might notice there is a slight change in tone. Only moderate, more focused, and a little bit less jocular. Tone when I'm on shift, as it were. Did I volunteer to not cover Transport Fever 3 on the channel? Good question. Did I volunteer? That's not the way to describe it. So while Transport Fever 3 is in the run up to release, obviously I have a lot of privileged information. I've played the game, right? I've played the game. I've designed some of the features that are in the game, or at least I've made suggestions that have gone into the design of features that are in the game. I'm working with the boss of the company to try and nail a few things down with that regard. There's a couple of the programmers on the team that I speak to regularly, because they get stuff done. I'll go like, what if it was a bit like this? And they'll go, and then it does that. And we'll look at it and go, oh yeah, that's fun. And it's a really nice place to be. I'm also the oldest person in the company. It's the first time I've had that. That's fun. I've got more experience than anybody in the company in games, and that's fun too. They're not inexperienced, but they don't have the breadth and length and depth of experience in the games industry that I do. So I get called in to do quite a few things, from legal to GDPR to working with PR, along with a whole bunch of other things. I'm overseeing the beta at the moment, and that's good too. Can't tell you anything more other than that. So there you go. Where does the nom de guerre protagonist come from? Snow Crash. And because it's appropriate. People go, oh, that's a bit it's a bit arrogant, isn't it, calling himself protagonist? Because in a literary sense it means hero. It means advocate. Not quite synonymous for advocate, but it also stands for advocate. And the way that I see community management is as being the advocate for the company within the group of players, and being the advocate for the players within the company. You are this is what I say when I'm training community managers. You are the gatekeeper between two sets of very emotional people. And you kind of go, what? What? Gamers? You don't get much more emotional than gamers. That's not emotional bad. It just means that the strength of sentiment carried by gamers can be extraordinarily strong, to the point that all reason leaves the building. And second to that, you can't believe them either. If you have never seen it before, go and look up the Modern Warfare 2 dedicated server boycott image. I'll describe it to you, right? Modern Warfare 2, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 was not going to have dedicated multiplayer servers. So a Steam group was set up, which is boycott Modern Warfare 2 unless dedicated servers are added. And the screenshot in question shows 90% of the members of the boycott Modern Warfare 2 group playing Modern Warfare 2. Talk a big game, don't back it up with actual intent. That doesn't mean you can ignore concerns, no, but it means that you have to read what is said and understand what is actually needed. If you ask players what they want and then deliver it, you end up with a right dog's dinner as far as a game is concerned. Sometimes that thing you really want, you don't want. You just think you want it, but it won't actually improve anything overall. And I know this for a fact because a couple of things that I'd really like added to the new game aren't being added, with good reason. I don't disagree with the reason. I'd still like to see them added, but I don't disagree with the rationale as to why they're not in there. Do I make a distinction between customer and gamer? Yeah, you'll never catch me saying customer. Not when talking about gamers. Not ever. Not ever. Absolutely I do. Absolutely 100% there is a difference. And the difference is anybody who describes gamers as customers deserves all the anger they get. Because they're not customers, they're gamers. These are people who play games. These are people who care deeply about games. The second you describe them as a customer, you're describing them as a unit of currency. And while they may be a unit of currency, while they may help keep the lights turned on, if you describe them as customers, how do you think they're going to feel? You're not a customer, you're a gamer. Back in the day, when you would get angry gamers complaining about a feature within a game, you know how they would try and really bludgeon the developer. They'd go, "We are your customers," because they think like, "Phew, that's a low blow right there." Because, and I'm back in the day, I'm talking about very early 2000s, and the reason that mattered so much is because game studios were artists. They were seen as artists, and they liked to see themselves as artists. The kind of the economic, the public-facing economic reality of the games industry had yet to really take hold. So describing yourself as customers was like, "Aha! See, we've given you money to do this." And much like everything else touched by the internet, that the perversion of language, or the pollution of language with all things financial, has come about over 20 years, and now the damage is done. And it's ruined forever. So the second, and it works on a subconscious basis as well. If you think of them as customers, that's an entirely different way of thinking about people than if you think of them as gamers. There is a worse word you can use, of course, than customer, and that's consumer. Oh, it makes me wanna hurl. But the damage is done. I've been preaching this for 25 years. There are people who get it, you know, and they're the ones I've trained, and there are a lot of people who don't get it. So there you go. Right. Let's go through others. Does Transport 3 Fever 3 look promising? Yes. There you go. That's the easiest question you were going to ask. Does it look promising? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You've seen video. You tell me. To be honest, they like you. We like you. I'm not in any business, Yo Chocotube, but I think your failure persona would actually drag more people into wanting to try it. It's a tricky one. It's a tricky one because there are people that don't like my haphazard approach to things. More than that, there are plenty of people where I tend to be very dismissive of people who min-max or try to get things absolutely spot on, absolutely perfect, while I'm bodging it quite merrily, or who consider, you know, what all the numbers mean. I just kind of go, yeah, but is the important number going the right way? Yeah, well, then I don't care. If the important number's going the right way, we're all good here. I play it for fun, right? And there are people who play it seriously. And those are different mindsets. And I'm not dismissive of either. And that doesn't matter whether I've got my professional suit and blazer on, or suit and blazer. Oh, yeah, I wear a blazer over my suit. Or whether I'm playing now, right? I might make fun of people who take it too seriously, but that doesn't mean I invalidate their method of playing. It's just not my method of playing. I'm in it for the fun of the thing. I'm in it for the adventure, and when presenting it on video, I exaggerate the amount of haphazardness, because that's what creates really interesting stories. That's what creates moments of tension, or moments of surprise, or moments of delight out of the blue that come unexpectedly. So when working in an official capacity, you've got to keep it a little bit drier, and that's okay. I think you'll be okay with it. I mean, for those of you, here's an example. I used to work for Dovetail Games on Train Sim World. And in the first Let's Play-esque stream I did, the first Let's Play stream I did, the train I was driving was overtaking another one. And so, you know, I gunned it and yelled, "Have it!" as I was trying to overtake the other train. The kind of thing I'd usually do. The comments were, that was a couple, just two. Some people were just like, neither here nor there. They'd either encountered me before, or they found it to be fun, which is the whole point. But a couple of the comments were, "Oh, that's desperately unimpressive. How unprofessional can you get?" That's not what this is about at all. This is, and you know what? They were right. That was not the place for it. If I'm doing a serious presentation for people who take that stuff seriously, you take it seriously. You don't muck about. Now, I did plenty of streams where mucking about was not only expected, but actually aided the fun of the thing. But that's the whole point for using a different name, and for a different style and tone of representing what it is I'm working on, is because doing so means that the people who don't like my very tamely anarchic and yet haphazard and yet it kind of works anyway approach to things, you don't want to hack them off just because it's being played by a clown. So you keep the sense of human, but tone down the sense of humour. There you are. Pretty good, that. Pretty flipping good. Noni, your super chat did go through. Hold on, I need to catch up. Noni has slung 100 rupees in the bucket to give 87p to Jeff. He'll try and eat it, Noni, but I appreciate that nonetheless. Don't put my full name in the chat. Thanks, Noni. There are weirdos who read this stuff, you know. And as much as the name is out there, again, I reiterate, as I frequently do, if any of you people turn up at my door, I will not be flipping impressed. If you'd like me to do some kind of live event, I'll quite happily do so. If you happen to see me in the supermarket, you're more than welcome to come up and say, I like your videos, because that's how you sound. And I'll go, oh, thank you very much. Do I know you from the chat? I'm quite approachable, but one should not rock up at one's front door. Thank you very much. Doing so would not be welcome, because it would feel like a violation of some sort, despite the fact you might mean well. Yeah, so don't. And that goes for other YouTubists as well, just so you know. Mitch has slung a tenner in the bucket. Late fee has been submitted. Sorry you're late. You got home from truck driving school. You got your CDL. You're coming out of retirement before you go stir crazy and will be terrorising the highways of the northeast of the US of A. CDL. Container Delivery Loader. No. Constant Danger Listener. Yeah. Jacob's been a member for 16 long months. You've got to sign off early. Thank you, Jacob, for swinging by. 16 long months. Gracious me. And Dirty Dishes has flung a tenner in the bucket. I like your videos. Thank you, Dirty. That's very good. Apt timing there. Well played. Jolly good show. Commercial driver's license. Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. I'm just testing you, Mitch. See? Got to make sure you actually know what it is you've got. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I probably would have got there if I'd applied maybe one or two more brain cells to the task at working out that a truck driver needs a CDL, the D and the L. Maybe I could have figured out what that was. Dingus. Right. Let's see if there's any more riveting questions. These are all riveting questions. Will there be another run of Bannerlord? Yes. Every time this comes up, yeah. As soon as the DLC's out, we'll be back on Bannerlord on a Saturday night for a run. I don't know if I said this last week. I don't know if it will be a full end-to-end dynasty campaign, rule the world, or whether it will be enough that makes me go, we've done enough. Right? So there you go. Toby's asking, thank you, Toby, will it be on Mac? We will be announcing all of the platforms the game will be launching on a little closer to release. There you go. Yeah. You are the one you talk in that track. I'm not entirely sure which order of the words you intended there, David, but I will endeavour to answer a question anyway. Is it me doing the voiceover in that video? Yes. Yeah, that's me doing the voiceover. Good. Right, there you are. You should use your subconscious voice as Colonel Failure to egg serious. You mess up. No. You've got to take it seriously. Because as much as you may feel otherwise, I'm capable of being professional, you know. My biggest problem is I'm incredibly passionate about games. And more than that, I'm incredibly passionate about gamers. Because it can feel that you are the only person, other than devs, and devs don't often get a say in the matter, right? That you're the person who's really you're the person who's really representing the players. And not only is it in the case of everything, right? In the case of everything where making the players happy is what you're after. And if you're doing something that's going to make players unhappy, then two things. Firstly, someone needs to tell someone at the company, this is going to make players unhappy, you know, right? In case you're not aware already, this is going to make them unhappy. I'm not saying there's nothing in Transport Fever 3 that this relates to. This is in a general sense. And secondly, if the gamers are made unhappy, you know who gets shot? The messenger. The messenger is always 100% of the time shot in the face repeatedly, screamed at for as many hours as there are in the day by vexed people who are incredibly passionate about the subject matter. And you can say, oh, they should get outside and touch some grass. And you kind of go, no, you don't get to choose what people care deeply about. And it happens that a lot of people, a lot of gamers, care very deeply about games, particularly games that they've set up in their head as this is going to be fantastic, it's going to be great, it's going to be this, that, the other, right? And then if it doesn't live up to that expectation that they've built in their head, they're disappointed. So in the run-up to release, the part of the role of community manager, and marketing people can't stand it that I do this, is I try to make people less excited. Because if marketing goes well, they will have the gamers 12 out of 10 excited when the game launches. 12 out of 10, right? And the bigger the delta between how excited they are and what the reality is, the more disappointed they're going to be, and therefore the more vexed they're going to be, and therefore the more you as community manager are going to get your head kicked in. Now that comes with the territory, and you don't do this gig unless that's a fight you want to have, or you think you can make a difference. So yeah, and even if the game's 10 out of 10, if you were expecting a 12 out of 10 game, you're still going to be slightly disappointed. I went to see Star Wars The Phantom Menace when it came out, and I missed it for the first couple of weeks. So I went to see it in the cinema, and all the feedback that I'd heard from friends and associates who'd seen it was, it's completely awful. It is dreadful. It's just absolutely diabolically terrible. This is a travesty. It's completely no. Oh dear. I went to see it, and you know what? It's still terrible, but I quite enjoyed it. My expectations had been dropped from new Star Wars, great, down to, oh, it really stinks. I thought the pod race was great fun in the Phantom Menace, and that's the benefit of having your expectations decreased to a realistic level. There you are, right? So I try and get people to expect what they're actually going to receive, rather than anything else. There. Right, good. Yeah, I need to scroll to catch up with messages. There you go. But you see, I've got people who are going like, we need more stone. I go like, I'm fishing it. I'm fishing the stone, but I'm running a television show here, so you know, priorities. And my priority is the television show. If we need more stone coming out of the ground, bring another digger over.
I was actually thinking that, but the other guy said they'd shoot me for suggesting it. No.
Go get another digger and come and join in. We just don't, there just isn't enough room. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So there you go. Yeah.
Good. Okay, I will sort that out, and I'll see you in a moment.
Thank you. Good. More questions. Noni's chucked another 100 rupees in the bucket for exposing my full name. Thank you, Noni. Right. Is anyone else getting stuttering and freezes? You shouldn't do. Everything's running pretty well. Yeah. Have I seen Saloon Simulator? I saw Dre playing it a couple of days ago. It hasn't attracted my attention. To be honest, I haven't had a lot of time. So there you go. You know this will be passed over. I'm not fortunate enough to have a good gaming PC. How well does the new Transport Fever play on low settings? I used to get multiple crashes in Transport Fever 2, I assume is what you're trying to say. You've said 3 again, but I assume you mean 2. Right, okay. The game's not yet finished, and as such, we can't really say what the spec requirement is going to be for the release of the game when it's ready. And if that weren't enough for people, I'd then follow up with, obviously, we want it to work as well as possible for as many people as possible. There you go. So with regard to how well we run on your PC, we're not yet at the point where we're focusing heavily on optimization. Often in game development, this happens late on in the process, as much as it happens ongoing throughout development. The most part of optimization happens towards the end. There you go. Good. Right, that's another question happily handled. Thank you for putting real subtitles on Transport 3 instead of that auto rubbish. That's my my associate in crime and head of marketing, Nico, who handled that. I argue with Nico all the time. He is sort of my boss, despite being half my age, and I'm cool with that as well. You know what? You know what's absolutely liberating is throughout my entire career, and I will not be the only person who's like this, you go chasing after more and more swanky-sounding job titles. Because you kind of go, I want a swanky-sounding job title so I can get the big bucks, and so that this and that, and someday I'll get to... I don't know what happened when I hit 50. Well, actually, I do know what happened when I hit 50. But when I hit 50, I was just like, I don't care anymore. I have no need to have a stupid job title. Give me, and that's why, you know, that's why I'm now a community manager, which at most games companies is something you give to a 22-year-old who's got no experience in anything and not a single clue in the world. Despite the fact that community manager is the most important role within a game publisher, and I'm not even exaggerating. No other role touches as many other internal departments and is the direct liaison with the players. Kind of go, well, customer service directly liaises with players, and you kind of go on a one-to-one basis. If you're dealing with tech stuff as a community manager, think about doing customer service with an audience. You get it wrong with one individual customer, maybe they leave you a negative review somewhere. All right, it happens. See, someone's brought a digger down here and they're in my way. Get out of my way. Yeah, if another digger turns up in a moment, I will be displeasured. But no, the community speaks to absolutely every other department because you are the internal representative of the consumer. I use the word deliberately. So there you go. Yeah. No, my choice of language is deliberate. And that's the thing, is it, because I work with language. Come on, Em. What do you want? Written invitation? Come on, get out. Come on. Thank you. When you work with language all the time, particularly when you work in a way that is, how is this language going to be understood? How is it going to be interpreted? You consider the use of things. The problem is, this is rule 2 for those of you who care about rules. The biggest failing in the games industry ever in the history of all time, DLC. Not DLC as a thing. DLC is fantastic. No. It is 100% fantastic, because at no point in history have you been able to expand your favorite game endlessly and easily like you've been able to with DLC. It is a fantastic addition to gaming. You know what the problem is? DLC, downloadable content. For a creative industry, that's the terminology that was come up with. Fantastic. And that's a worker. That's going to get people proper passionate. That is. They're going to go like, I can't. Give me some more of that content. I can't wait to get some more content. If you could make it downloadable, whoo! I might have my tiny little mind blown. And the problem comes from what one might very well describe as suits. Now, you need suits. You need them. You need people who are serious about the business side of things, because otherwise you get whimsical clowns like me blowing all the money on t-shirts and laughs, and then you're out of business. And all that's left is your digger's fallen over. And then all that's left is a big pile of t-shirts and very few laughs. So you do need suits around. But the problem is that inside the building, you have all manner of members of the team will be talking to people who are business focused first. There's nothing wrong with that. You need them. And so they use inhuman language. They use language that makes them sound more interesting and more important and more knowledgeable to the business movers and shakers. This is not language they would use normally. If you're a producer or you're an artist of some description, you're not going to be using stupid business terminology. That is why LinkedIn is an emotionless, dried up husk of bullshit. And I choose my language there deliberately. But they didn't think about it, right? So they're trying to sound impressive to people inside the building, and then they use the same language outside of the building, which is where gamers live. They're doing an interview with some magazine or some website, and they use the kind of language that they've got internally programmed as, this makes me sound impressive. So they use this makes me sound impressive language. And it doesn't. It makes them sound like a soulless corporate dingus. And your community manager, if you ever catch a community manager calling gamers consumers, you can point at them and go, well, you don't know what you're doing. Because the other problem with community management is there are no senior community managers. You might have people with the title, but they haven't done the work. Very rarely have they done the work. More often than not, these are marketing people who've taken it over as part of a department. There are some people who have worked their way up, but working your way up requires you to do a small, if not large, amount of being easy to get along with and being a yes man or yes woman. Difficult people don't often get promoted, and I'm very fortunate in that I've spent my career being difficult and yet somehow still being promoted. I'm very difficult, and that's because I'm gamer first, because that's what it should be. It's not, and I'll recommend ideas that are keep the lights on over. It's going to make them unhappy, but seriously, it's not going to push them over the edge. We can do this. I give you no examples. Because the one thing you learn is if you've spent your entire career trying to avoid making gamers angry, you know how to avoid making them angry, and therefore you know where you can push the envelope of acceptable behaviour to some degree. What are we talking about? Oh, I don't know. You're just talking about the main thing. Right. Is there a forum where gamers can give feedback and suggest? It is way too late to suggest ideas. Now, if during the beta process people come up with ideas that are workable, totally. But, I think you should really add... Too late. It's too late for that now. It would have to take a significant. Oh crumbs, that's absolutely right. And oh crumbs, that's really really easy to implement suggestions at this point of proceedings. This game's been in development for 5 years, and during that time, an awful lot of listening has been done. And in that time, an awful lot of forum posts have been written on various different forum platforms with regard to what people would really like to see, while at the same time you have the quote-unquote vision of those inside the company who've been going, no, this is the game we want to make. And there's always going to be a gulf between this is the game we want to make and I want this in the game. We all demand that this is in the game, which is never true. Yeah. You simply must have... No, it's not true. There is no simply must have. There is... I'd really like it if you added this. Ollie's chucked £2 in the bucket. Big up my status. Thanks. There you go. Oh yeah, so as I was saying, yeah, I no longer care about having a big swanky, big boy pants job title. I care about the job. You know, as long as it works out in a way that is commensurate with my my level of experience and what I bring to the party, then you know, I don't care about the job title. It's not important. Doing a good job is, and moreover, being somewhat having your own rope is very important to me. I can be a bit of a loose cannon. I can be a little bit maverick, but my goal is always the same, and that is make these gamers as happy as I possibly can. And if we're doing something that is not generating happiness, try and help them move to a position of reluctant acceptance. It's not easy. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Here we go. Right. I've missed loads. Right, I've got to move on. Justin, you're new to the channel. You've been subbed for about 10 minutes. Well, haven't you joined at a time when I'm not talking about anything interesting? Yeah. Is there product management in game development? How would one get the gig? Yes, there is. It's often known as a producer. I mean, it depends. It depends on what side of the fence you sit on, but often it will have the word producer as part of the job title. The easiest way... yeah, I mean... The traditional easiest way to get a gig as a producer would be to start out in QA and then work up to being a QA lead really quickly. Smart people work their way up very fast, and then try and sidestep into an associate producer, assistant producer kind of role, and then eventually become a producer, and then become a senior producer, and then become the lead producer, and then, if you're very lucky, an entirely different role, the exec producer. The exec producer. Yeah. I could be a decent exec producer. Yeah. Because exec producer often has very little to do with any of the producer roles. It's a different function entirely. But it sounds like it's part of the same track, as it were. So yeah, it depends what experience. If you've got similar experience within entertainment, you can probably get straight in. But if you wanted it as a career path, then from QA getting into, make sure it's QA at a developer, not QA at a publisher. Separate things. QA at a developer tends to be contract based, so you'll be on an 18-month contract for one project only, after which you will be slung out the door. And you kind of go, it's the nature of the beast, baby. One of the reasons for doing it is, that's gone well. One of the reasons for doing it is that it changes the rules with Red. Where are you going? What? Yeah, Hexagon's had a bit of a moment there with the digger. That's nice to see. Or the digger's had a bit of a moment with Hexagon. Either way, a bit of a moment was had right there. Clear up your mess. Thank you. Yeah, so there you go. But what I will also say is, if you want to get into the games industry, now go and make a game. Don't apply to work in the games industry. Go and make a game. If you're already in, that's a different matter. Go and make a game. Don't apply to work in the games industry. Go and make a game. Collaborate with people who have great game ideas. If you don't have one, you can still contribute towards it. But if you go, no, I know a creative genius, find an artist. Art is all important. Yes, you can buy art resources. You can use AI to generate that art. And I know that's a touchy subject for people, but you can do it. Should you? That's your choice entirely. Personally, I happen to think it's absolutely valid to do mundane art using a machine. But if you want an actual art style, if you want something distinctive that is yours and shows that it's you title rather than just some generic piece of junk, then get a human, and a good one at that. There are a lot of kind of junk artists who are going to be pushed out of their current career path, who you'll look at their body of work and go like, well, you've never really done anything I would call art. What you've done is quite a lot of drawing. Not all drawings are art, and not all art are drawings. That doesn't really flip round the other way so well. But the point remains, but that's a different topic. Different topics are my special subject. Yeah, go make your own game. Joining the games industry now is going to be difficult and is highly likely that you will be laid off. Yeah, experience buys you a certain amount of extra opportunity to stick around. And why are so many people being laid off? There are a huge number of reasons for that, and that is another different topic. But I want to finish this topic so we can talk about something else for a bit. I hope it's not a disappointment as CS2 was. So do we. Shush! But only you can decide that. Only you can decide that. Tanya has slung a fiver in the bucket. Thank you, Tanya. We love your videos. You're such a joy to watch. Oh, well, bless. I'm going to be making some more videos. You've been saying that a lot recently. Well, that was before a certain video mission that I've been on for the last 2 months got in my way. But now I should have... It's plausible I will have a little bit more time on my hands, at which point I will make some more videos. I've got some real belters figured out as well. Real belters. The Saturday streams will continue. Although saying that, I'm not here next weekend. No, I'm ferrying various daughters to various different parts of the country next weekend. So Saturday won't be here. Yeah, good. Hello to Jeff from Chirpy the Pigeon and Tanya, who are a popular beat combo that can be seen touring in a club near you. The Pyramid says, I just hit 60 and care even less. That's how far behind on the chat I am. Beautiful. Right, I'm gonna get this out and I'm gonna get up to date with the chat, and then I will try and stick with the chat in real time. And that will be good. Because you're talking about one of my favourite subjects. I flipping love being a community manager. And I flipping love the games industry. Warts and all. Absolutely love it. I've been doing it for so long, and I wouldn't have kept doing it if I didn't love it. It's also properly hot in here. I'm going to kick this door open. Oof. Right. I'm melting. Right. Dun, 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 dun. Diet's chucked £2 in the bucket. You'll chuck £2 into the swear jar for me. Oh, well, that's very nice. Oh, yeah, because I described LinkedIn in a way that was generous. Pyramus has chucked £2.10 in the bucket. Is a few bob to celebrate 1,000 hours on Transport Fever 2. Nice. I didn't reach 1,000 hours on TF2. About 750, 780, something like that. I got to. I'm not working at DTG anymore. No. They foolishly let me go, or rather invited me to leave. Yeah. That was just business, nothing personal. They just let me leave. So Nat had a strange entry as a producer then. Yeah, well, that's a Dovetail thing, is they will move people into roles where those roles come up, because Dovetail can struggle a little bit at getting good people who are not train fans. You know, if you're a coder and a train fan, you can get a gig at Dovetail. Great. And if you don't mind working in Kent, yeah, you can get a job there, no problem at all. So, yeah, there you are. Is there a place to give a bug report on Transport for Transport Fever 2? Yeah, there is. Plenty of them, in fact. Go and post it somewhere and it will be read somewhere. QA is the entry area. You might want to learn automation as well. No, it's all changing. It's all changing, and that's because AI is going to replace so much of the mundane work. What do I mean by mundane? I described art as mundane a moment ago. Mundane is something that requires no particular thought, artistry, or innovation to do. It's repetitive. If you've got anything that you're doing that is repetitive, and you can replace it with the machine, and the machine will do as good a job as you do. The only downsides come if the machine assumes that what's being asked for is simple, whereas in fact it's actually a little bit more complex or more nuanced, or that the request that has been received has been done in a way that is not necessarily clear or could be seen as a little bit ambiguous. And that's fine. But for the most part, it means the way I describe it is, if you currently work a white collar job, you're going to be replaced by the computer. All of you. And that includes me. You're going to be replaced by the computer. Train to be a plumber now. I would also recommend Gravedigger. There we go. So there's that. Have I had a cave in yet? Not really. A little bit of a trickle here and there, but not particularly. Yeah. All right, good. In the movies they say exec. Hello.
Sorry to,
No, it's good.
to interrupt you. Is it possible for us to purchase a grader and a paver?
They're pricey. How much do you need in total?
With the grader's 300,000 or so.
Okay, I can work some magic.
393,000 for the grader. I don't know the paver is.
There you go. Go shopping.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah. So who keeps digging up bits of my work? Oh no, it's just different colours. Okay, good. Yeah, there we go. A little bit of advice from a solo dev to prospective solo devs. Don't be too ambitious. It's easy to overscope. Build something it's very good advice. Think in terms of a core game loop, right? What is the one activity that you're going to do over and over again, right? What is the one activity? If you're creating some kind of shooty shoot, the activity is going to be moving, shooting. Put a lot of work on that. If you're a shooty shoot, don't worry about baddies to start with. Put some boxes out there and work on your moving and your shooting. If they feel good, hey, you're onto something. If it's a driving game, work on the going that way, going this way, and the forwards and the back. Start with that. Doesn't matter what the model of the car looks like to start with, or whatever it is you're driving. Doesn't matter. Work on the fundamentals. So figure out what the fundamental thing is in that game and refine the pants off it. Get that to be absolutely ruddy brilliant. And then add more bits and work out how they fit in with the cycle. This is not, strictly speaking, a core game loop, but it is. The advice is still the same, and the advice is still accurate, which is find the thing and make it work really, really well, and then add the extra things that are important to that thing and make them work. And then you can think about, okay, let's add the fluff around the outside, and that can just be myriad bits and pieces. So in your driving game, that's 200 different cars, all of which have got slightly different handling attributes, and and then you can tune them. But you've already got driving nailed. You've got that feeling right. It's all about feeling. It's all about feeling. And then you can work on, does it compel you to do more of that one thing? Power washing simulator. Right? You might go, my goodness me, that sounds like the least exciting thing in the world. And I can tell you for a fact it is. However, boy oh boy is it satisfying. Boy oh boy is it satisfying. And equally, absolutely nailed the amount of pressure wash needing to be given to different bits in order to make it work. That core mechanic works fabulously. It is a game about, you're spoiling your own video again. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's a game about delivering satisfaction to the player, and it nails it, and that's why it's successful. The first people to play it went like, ha ha ha, this is a novelty, ha ha ha, and it'll be, you know, idiot YouTubers who go, this will get some sick views because I'm playing some nonsense simulator game. Honestly, YouTube channels who just play simulator nonsense games, you should ignore them. They're idiots. And, you know, they're only in it for the clicks. But that's why Power Wash worked, is because it genuinely is an extraordinarily satisfying experience. Yeah. There you go. Good. Right. You didn't catch up there. You went off on another tangent. I know. You're probably 15 minutes behind the chat. Well, that's the chat's fault. No, it's your fault. You lack discipline entirely when it comes to being succinct. Okay, well, we'll do the speed round then. All right, I'll speed round the next lot. And your digger's rolling. Oi, back it up. I need to be able to scroll. Stay. There you go. There we go. Just make Jeff the cat feeding simulator. Nope. Open the Jeff app, reduce volume. Yeah, kick him out the door is what's going to happen. Idea for a game, proper dog cat simulator, simulating the way the different way the senses work. No. Super Noob, can we get some RimWorld Odyssey? You know my feelings about RimWorld. I really, really, really like RimWorld, but nobody flipping watches it. And I swear it's because everyone wants to see it done well, or they want to see it done innovatively, because it is such a strong, this is your unique story kind of a game, that if I wanted to see a unique story in the game, I would play it for myself, and that would be enough. This is my suspicion. Run that. Well, you made a dog's dinner there, didn't you? So my suspicion is the interest isn't there, because if you want to just see an adventure in RimWorld, you just go and play it for yourself. Whereas if you want to see someone doing an insane challenge or performing extremely well, those are the videos you want to go and watch. And I have to think of it in terms of, do I think anyone's going to watch this? It's as simple as that. So don't know. I've considered it. Well over 50's been a member for 21 long months, 9,000 plus hours in Transport Fever 2, and it's all my fault. You are welcome. It's fantastic, but you have to know what it is, and more importantly, what it isn't. And you know, that's the real trick to it. You work in healthcare and you can't be replaced by a computer. Not yet. Well, you're a professional, you see, rather than a white collar. It's the white collars. Can you have one of your minions install lights in the mine shaft? It's not the lights that are difficult, Michael, I'll be honest with you. It's the power. Getting the power there. Power's not that complicated to work with, but getting power there is tricky. In the late 80s, Advanced Lawnmower Simulator came out on the ZX Spectrum as a joke. Yeah, Dan, Lawn Mowing Simulator is very competently made. but it's not very good. No, that's the wrong way to describe it. It's not very satisfying. And I know why that is. Wait for an upcoming video. Boop, 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 boop. Eventually. Hello, Claire. Am I still building my magnum opus to rival of a rail system in Satisfactory? No, I haven't touched Satisfactory in a few months. Rail system's quite nice, of the one that I built. So there you are. You're out of hospital. Good to hear that, Cam Mac. How about surgery simulator? Been done. Yep, surgeon simulator's been done. Cowabunga, dude. It's boring. There's too much ranting, not enough playing. Unsubscribe. Bye. Yeah. Good. Cool. Right, I'll get back to the game. Yeah. Here's the thing, right? I don't mind that people unsubscribe. The main thing is that that if you grandstand on your way out of the door, you're just gonna invoke people to poke fun at you. Leave by all means. Post critique of why you're leaving, if you wish, but it does rather it does rather smack of grandstanding. Yeah. And also that's the first time I'd seen him post a comment. So how long's he actually been around? No. In all seriousness, I actually don't mind that people unsubscribe, because if they don't like the cut of what I am presenting, then they're not going to watch the videos, which means the recommendations going to those subscribers who are not going to watch the videos are wasted, and they could have gone towards someone who does appreciate the majesty and finery presented herein. Not to mention the fact that the gameplay in question this week is me driving back and forth out of a hole in the ground. Thank you very much. While talking about topics and things. That's what I've been doing for the last 4 weeks. That's why this is the last one. I feel like I'm going to play an actual game next. Nothing wrong with this. This is a game. I enjoy it. It's fun. And for reasons that will be explained in the near mythical now, the simulator problem video. Yeah. It's a cracking video in my head. Yeah, cracking it is. Cracking. It will be stimulating conversationally. And it might even reach a few people who I don't often reach, if ever. They might go, oh, where have you been forever? I go, I've been here talking rubbish. But now I'm talking sensibly-ish. Sort of. Still rubbish, though. And that'll be solid. Good. And go. And back it up. Ralph has been a member for 47 long months. I have never heard anyone saying green space reflections so enthusiastically. Yeah, I argued about that line. I said, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody. About 3 people care, and it's not a sexy line. Can't we talk about how these things are important to gameplay? And it was like, no, it's important that we mention it. And we go, but nobody cares. I lost that argument on the basis of, look, we worked really hard to make this look very, very flippin' pretty. Okay? Really hard. Really hard on making it look pretty. We're going to mention it. I went, fine, I'll work it in there. And that's why I love this. That's why I love the company. It's why I love the company. Because they're right a lot, and I'm right a lot, and therefore it does come down to at some point you're going to go, how much do you really want to dig your heels in? And you kind of go, well, I'd rather just get it done, so all right, let's crack on. Kevin slung a 20 in the bucket. Thank you, Kevin. What could be the stupidest simulator possible? You see, there wouldn't be a stupidest simulator unless you were to make Stupidity Simulator. Because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it's simulating at all. It's all about, does the person playing it get the emotion you hope they get as a result of playing it? And is that emotion a good thing, right? Simulators are very much about feel. Games are very much about feel. They're very much tapping into the emotion of the person who is involved in the activity of making use of that software. So there is no topic that's off limits, or that you go, because we've already had that, right? No. See, now I'm getting perilously close to the central thesis of the mythical video of mythical proportions. So you're just going to have to hold on. Nate's been a member for 35 long months. Hello, it's the first stream I've been able to watch in a good while. Well, it's very nice to have you here, Nate. You've joined at a marvellous point in history. Paint drying simulator, no controls, you just watch. No, you see what you've got. What you're trying there is to come up with something that wouldn't be fun to play. Coming up with something that wouldn't be fun to play really isn't hard. But you can take any topic and make it interesting and engaging and satisfying, and as a result, dopamine inducing to play. I'm driving this digger in and out of the tunnel, right? Now, one reason for that is because we're in a multiplayer environment, and therefore making sure we've got stone continuing to flow is helpful and will help us progress on the overall mission. One part is it means that I'm not having to use up masses of thought processes, so I can engage with you lovely people in the chat and talk about stuff and things. But it's quite satisfying. Repetitive? Oh, sure. Maybe a little bit boring. Not a pun. Yeah, maybe a little bit, but progress is occurring, and that's the central. That's the bit that matters in this. Nobody's particularly bothered about digging this virtual crud out of the virtual ground in order that it can be sold virtually, in order to make more virtual money that we can then invest in buying some more virtual machinery so that we can dig more virtual stuff out of the virtual ground. In terms of it, is this a waste of time? Oh boy, is it ever. However, if it generates a positive emotional response from those playing it, is it a waste of time? Right? No such thing. So coming up with something that is a waste of time because it does just make you feel bored, or does just lack any level of stimulation from it, then yeah, that's pointless. But something that is soothing or relaxing, or or something like a game that is incredibly repetitive, it frees you up to not really have to think about very much, which is quite nice if you spend a lot of your time thinking. It's why I like playing Farm Sim. Or one of the reasons I like playing Farm Sim is because the repetition plus sense of progress is sat right there, and it's a sense of calming satisfaction to unwind and not have to burn up your doodad. There you go. New subject. What are my thoughts on American barbecue? It's nice. If it's cooked well. But that would also stand true for any barbecue anywhere in any food in the world that uses a flavour profile that I like and is then cooked well. I'm into it. Yeah. But what about American barbecue specifically? I've not sampled enough of it to be able to adequately judge. Is it universally great? I can tell you this without a shadow of a doubt. No. Is it universally awful? No. Is it universally mediocre? No. There will be good, there will be bad. It's not a question I can give you a definitive soundbite answer on. The answer is, it depends. There you are. Thanks, Fred. Been a member for 43 long months. And that's how you chose to burn it. Did I ever play the GTA games? Yep. I played 1, 2, 3, San Andy, 5, didn't do 4. Yeah, and GTA Online. That was the question, wasn't it? Yep. There was no review ever asked for. No review was ever asked for. Okay, then mission accomplished. Move on to the next one. The size of the meals, the type of the meats. Sometimes the meals can be too large. Sometimes they're not large enough. The type of the meat, sometimes it could be a really nice cut and taste. There's no definitive answer, Fred. There is no definitive answer. Yeah. There is none. What I will tell you is that every time I've been to California, which is numerous, I've spent a lot of time in California. After being there for about a week, work for American companies. After being there for about a week, you start craving something and you don't know what it is. And it takes a little while before you figure out what it is that you've been craving. I can answer that now. Spoilers, it's vegetables. And I'm not joking either. You distinctly notice the lack of vegetables after you've been there for a week. But your body notices the lack of vegetables. And the meat's great and fantastic. You've got a big country to draw from. But it's because it's a big country and therefore your arable land tends to be in the parts of the country that are best suited to arable land. Now, the Great Britain, by comparison, we put an awful lot of stock in vegetables because it will grow everywhere and therefore they're available everywhere and mostly fresh, unless you're going to a supermarket, in which case it's mostly come from the continent, in which case it's mostly spent 3 days queuing to get across the border, and therefore has got about 26 seconds before it goes off. Buy local, people, buy local. Find your local farming outlet, buy seasonal vegetables when they're in season, unless they can be adequately forced on this septic isle. But I mean, American meat, fabulous. Yeah, but I've had really good meat in other parts of the world as well. You know, best steak I ever had, Denmark. No, Denmark was the best steak I ever had. Yeah, Fred slung another tenner in the bucket. Right, okay, Fred, he's got me on whatnot. Salad aren't vegetables. No, salad isn't vegetable. Plus, it'll be covered in some kind of dressing that will include 4.5 kilos of sugar. Right, Fred. The reason you ask is you've been watching a few Brits review American whatever, and one said most barbecues there are simply overcooked. Most barbecues here are overcooked frozen burgers and sausages. You should have asked about British barbecue rather than American barbecue. There is a bit of that, yeah. Less so these days. Historically, sure, frozen burgers, frozen sausages. Now, not so much. And that's because supermarkets, the great evil, they've actually got better at providing fresh, quote-unquote, fresh meats. Or industrialized farming for meat has improved in terms of productivity / efficiency. And so you can get fresh stuff much easier. The quality of beef, though, we don't have the the kind of the herd scale to specialize to the degree that you do stateside, and therefore the quality of the beef can be a little bit lower. You can still get good stuff, but the average is probably a little lower down for beef because we don't have the land. There isn't as much of it. And also a lot of the cheaper meat that you're going to get is going to be coming from the continent, where it's spent 3 days trying to get across the border. I mean, you can buy local, but it's not always possible. Never use frozen sausages. You can, but you've got to thaw them out. Frozen sausages will attempt to kill you if you give them half a chance. Frozen chicken, same kind of deal. So yeah, there is less of a reliance on frozen stuff these days. So it tends to be fresher. But the other thing we don't do is we don't barbecue as seriously. Some do, but where I draw the line, where it ceases to be a barbecue, for me personally, is where you've hooked a gas cylinder up to a cooker and put it in your garden and called it barbecuing. Because for my money, that's just using a cooker in a garden. That's not barbecue. Barbecuing, there's science to fire. And if you're just using a gas burner, much like you'd use to heat your beans up if you're at Glasgow, that's not barbecuing. No, that's using a cooker in the garden. Yeah, there you go. PT slung $20 in the bucket. Late tax, you got carried away having a drink at a loud place before remembering that you don't enjoy loud places. Hate it when that happens. British, UK frozen sausages are awful. Richmond sausages, oh hell. Now, yeah, I mean, Richmond sausages are about as mid as you can get. They're jolly basic, but there you go. Barbecue is an excuse, and the reason we don't barbecue, particularly in this country, is because summer is erratic and short. The number of high quality, and this is another kind of British stereotype, is that the second the sun comes out, everybody's outside in shorts and t-shirt, and it'll be like 19 degrees or something like that, and everybody's going, nope, now is the time. Because it's short, so you appreciate it while it lasts, and then it gets a bit too hot, and then you start complaining about it instead of appreciating it, and then it disappears again, and so you start complaining about that. 2 days ago we were all going like, oh, I could do with a bit of rain. It's raining at the moment, and I don't doubt that I'll bump into someone in the next day or two, or we going like, oh, where did the sun go? And they kind of go, well, we asked for rain, and unfortunately the weather gods listen to everything we complain about and go, well, they're not pleased about that. Give them the opposite. And then we complain about that, and so they flip around. So our summers are very erratic, and they're short. You get good. The best weather of the year in the UK, September, typically. Because you'll have some nice days, but it won't be so roasting that it gets uncomfortable. Because the UK is not a country, and you might go like, well, it's not hot compared to here. We don't have air conditioning. You know why? Because we don't need it. Have never needed it in the past, and only recently has it started to be something that might actually be beneficial. So historically, it's not been something that's been necessary outside a few outliers. You can draw your own conclusions as to why that might be, but there is data to back it up. Yeah. September. September is a very pleasant month. The colours are good. The days are long enough. The sun's still out and about. You don't tend to get a massive amount of rain in September particularly. It's a very, very nice month in this country. Yeah, good. Did you enjoy doing the Transport Fever 3 trailer? Yes. There we go. However, it's my job. You can enjoy your job, but it's still a job. Yeah. It's a fun, as Cypress Hill have said in the past, it's a fun job, but it's still a job. There you go. When I lived in the UK as a student for a year, I was convinced British sausages must consist of 50% sawdust by law. Nah, that's not true. No, it depends which ones you buy. If you go and buy the cheapest ones, yeah, they'll be filled with all kinds of poison. But if you actually go and buy even mid-range sausages, even from the supermarket, you'll get halfway decent sausages and they'll be fine. Yeah. Do they sell air conditioners in the UK? Yes, they do. If you believe that warm weather is going to become common, perhaps you should buy one. You want to get them fitted. That's the thing. Portable air conditioners can flipping do one. I think they're rubbish. But houses aren't built with air conditioning in mind, and that's why the UK struggles so much with higher heat. And then you go to a different country. If you the Brits typically, I'm generalising, awful. We'll go to a Mediterranean country, right? We'll go to Spain or Greece or Italy or further afield, right? North Africa if you're feeling a bit flash. But the Mediterranean, is a typical place you go, and you go, you're complaining about the heat here, and then you go to, it's an entirely different environment. The way the temperature acts as it gets hotter is different, and I figure it's part of sun intensity, or something like that. Obviously, you get more cooked. Oh, the cat has really got up my schnoz. Yeah, I figure it's sun intensity. Plus, I go to Greece quite regularly, and the biggest difference there during the day, well roasty. But at night, the temperature drops below 8 degrees Celsius, and that is comfortable sleeping weather. And that makes a massive difference. Over here, during the day, it's 27, 28, 29, and we're all griping. And then at night, it drops to 18, 19. Yeah, that's a temperature that you can't sleep in. You have to adapt to it. Plus, there's extra humidity, but it's not especially humid. You compare it to countries that are genuinely very humid. The Philippines or Japan or Thailand, places like that. That's humidity right there. I remember getting off the plane in Hong Kong, and it was like being hit in the face with a wet hot. That's the only way to describe it. It was being hit in the face with hot and wet, and it was really quite surprising how hot and how wet. And then I got to the hotel, and the air conditioning was like, oh, thank God. Oh, yes, it's so much better. So there you go. Yeah, there you are. Yeah, there you are. Oh, watching Brits lobster up, totally. Because we're not used to it. We are unskilled in the art of how to exist in a hot country. I heard that this might be urban myth or just, straight out non-facts. Where did I get this dump load of stuff from? Was it you ripping it out of the tunnel like a bit? Where did you get that big one from? Have I switched truck? I don't think I've switched dumper. Maybe I have. Mine's little now by comparison. Never mind. Yeah, someone's just spent 300 grand on something. You're not supposed to buy vehicles without clearing it past me first. We haven't got an infinite budget, even though we have. Yeah, there is supposed to be some sense of order, but this is Fail Brigade we're talking about, so good luck with that. Give me another shovel of stuff and go on. Right. Super. Wandless Wizard has become a member of the Fail Brigade. Welcome aboard, Wandless Wizards. It is super to have you here. Long have we awaited you to arrive. But obviously, a wizard always arrives precisely when they intend to do so, or accidentally hit the Become Member button on YouTube, which is the unedited version of that line of the script. You're welcome.
I'm here to apologise. It was me who bought the vehicle.
Oh, Ed! Oh, Ed, you know better than that.
The old rollers tear up the tarmac, whereas we actually need the asphalt one to not do that.
No, cool. That's fine.
Cheers.
Or when it's daylight, I'll actually pop in there and we'll have a look and see how the tarmac is coming along. What I do know is that we're processing a heck of a lot of material out of this mine now. Not all of it is stone. There's going to be mixtures of iron and copper as well down here. But this one here. This is the stone face. I might actually detonate a little bit more just so it's easier to get to. I've detonated the ceiling a couple of times as well, just to try and even it up. Eventually, I'll put. See, look, we've got two different materia going on there. All right, so if we do, yeah, let's grab those out of there, and then let's see what this is. No, you've just put dynamite on it. Oh, well, okay. Yeah. What are you? Are you dirt? Might be dirt. How would you know? Well, I'm waiting to see if something else lands in my inventory first, you see. That's blasted. There you go. I've got some blasted rock there. Super. That's the stuff we want. We want blasted rock. Or crushed rock. Generally rock. So let's whack this out the ceiling. Stick a bit of TNT on that. While we're about it, we'll slap some of these out here as well. We'll generally do a bit of a ripple explosion round the edge. Super. Good. Long time watcher. You've been watching since Transport Fever 1. Oh, those were the days. Full of youthful vigour and optimism. What are you full of these days? Not a lot. Red Bull, mostly. Right. Fire in the hole. Super. Just makes it slightly easier scooping, and bringing some stuff down from the ceiling means that you can even up the shape of your caves a little. Eventually, this will be colossal, and we will have a collector down here. I'd say eventually, of course. We're not playing it again after tonight. We might, as a revisit later in the year. Yeah. Michael joined for Workers and Resources. Workers and Resources. Can you kill your teammates with TNT? Nope. And that's fine. Yeah. There is no death. Matty slung €5 in the bucket and is sausage. Oh, a sausage-free hot dog. Oh, sausage-fee hot dog. I didn't know we had a sausage fee, but fine. No. If a sausage fee feels like it's necessary in these parts, then I readily accept said sausage fee. Red Bull is so bad for you. I've been drinking it since it came out, and I'm still alive, so it's fine. Yeah. You know what else is bad for you? Everything. It's all bad for you. Yeah. Yeah. It's all dreadfully bad for you. So pick your poison. Yeah. And oxygen makes cancer grow faster. That's science, that is. And you kind of go, well, that's helpful to know. So if we deprive it of oxygen, yep, cancer won't grow quite as fast. Because the patient will be dead. Well, yeah, I mean, that's certainly part of it. Yeah. And yeah, of course it's bad for you. Of course it is. Everything's bad for you. So there you go. And eventually, you're going to die anyway. So, I mean, what does it matter? getting out of bed in the morning is bad for you. Using a car is really bad. You know what? I'm more likely to be killed by driving my car than I am by consuming Red Bull, which means that comparatively, Red Bull's safe. And also, you've got to drink a real lot of it before it'll do you. You know, and we do have my my ambition to have a catastrophic heart attack while live streaming something, and you lot won't know if it's a bit. And it won't be. But that's good. It will mean that I won't just be left as some kind of, you know, semi-rotting corpse waiting for Jeff to eat me. Which, admittedly, he'll have earned it, because I'll have kept him waiting for tea for a bit. Nudaholic's been around for 61 long old months. Life is dangerous. And there's no escaping from the end of it. Yeah. Enjoy it while you can, without making it miserable for anybody else. Yeah. Good. That escalated. Yeah, it did a bit, didn't it? Yeah. No, I'll drop heavy anytime you like. Oh yeah, dropping heavy is where we live. You know why? Because that's living, isn't it? And all you got, I appear to have already filled my bucket. Is Hex on his way? Yeah, Hex is on his way down. Then I shall shift to one side somewhat. But you have filled your bucket with less desirable stone. Well, that's because I scraped the ceiling, and I mean at some point, getting the ceiling down is going to be useful. So you know, might as well do some now. Yeah. Skip says, I saw research today which showed cancer using less oxygen than healthy cells. Seems to be nearly anaerobic. Though if you starve it of glucose, it will take the hint. Well, there you are. But you see, that's the thing. If someone had figured out how to cure it, we'd be curing it, and they haven't figured out how to cure it. Lots of improvement has been made vis-a-vis general observations of behaviour, but no overall cure has yet been discovered. Now, and here's the thing, and this is an interesting thing. Oh, I'm low on juice. That's all right. I'll top up next time on top side. This is an interesting thing about the internet, and how internet culture has transcended borders already. In the US, this is not a criticism of the US. You can rest easy. There is a lot of skepticism about pharmaceutical companies in the US. Kind of go, whoa. I'm skeptical about pharmaceutical companies as well. You know, all right. Do you know why, though? Well, they're purely motivated by profit. And you kind of go, okay, that's a reasonable assumption to have. Do you know when you first came to that position? Because I'll bet you got it from Americans. Let's give Hex a bit of a shove here. Come on, Hex, get up there. Put your back into it, son. And the reason that there's a difference is because of socialised healthcare, right? In a country that has healthcare provided by the government, or you pay a flat rate through the government and treatment cannot be denied, you're oblivious to the price of pharmaceuticals. You are completely unaware of how much they cost. That it is a flat rate. Whereas stateside, you become acutely aware of how medicines and the like can be denied you, and therefore you say, oh, it's big pharma that is to blame. And that's an interesting, that's an internet observation, right? This is not rah socialized medicine, although I always rah socialized medicine, so that shouldn't come as a surprise to anybody. It's more a case of the skepticism surrounding big pharma has come about because of how pharmaceutical companies treat US citizens. Yeah. With a side order of prosecuting companies who create rip-off of their drugs in order to treat people in third world countries as well. Yeah. Personal opinion and observation only. Yeah. Last stream of Triple O. Am I getting bored or other things to get on with? It's more a case of keep it fresh for them what view. Right? We like to bounce around somewhat to find interesting places where we can sell stories. Where we can tell stories. Sell stories? I guess, after a point. Sorry, Hex. Sorry, I didn't see you. And therefore we've done 4 of these, and each one of them is very, very similar in the sense of I'm going to do this for the next 4 hours. Stay tuned while I talk guff while doing this for the next 4 hours. Thank you very much. You can listen to my mal-informed reckon on myriad subjects. There have also been horrible scandals just as the opioid epidemic, but again, that's coming out of the US. Absolutely right, totally. But that's coming out of the US. So it is the US consumer position that has affected the... I mean, I know that there are opioid problems outside the US as well, but they are more prevalent or certainly more newsworthy coming from the States. Yeah. When the nice man woman tells you it's cancer, all your previous reservations about the pharmaceutical industry leave the chat. It then becomes, what can I get and how quick can I get it? Right. And that, I mean, the biggest problem with cancer meds is that the main purpose of cancer medication is to try and kill the cancer without killing the patient. You kind of go, it's not a great cure, is it? No, but that's what we're about here. And it doesn't always work. No. It's a bugger. Yeah. But hey. And then of course we put more and more additives into this, that and the other. And I don't just mean food, I mean microplastics or Teflon or whatever else you want to go with. And it takes decades before we twig that actually it's been doing us all untold harm. You're going to go, bit late for that now, isn't it? By which point the damage has been done, and it's everywhere and in all of us. All right, Jeff. All right. Let me get out of the way. I'll feed you now. Catmat wants me to feed him. Let's choose something. Let's choose something a little bit more joyful and full of the vigors of life and excitement. Maybe we could discuss what I should play next. After these important non-messages where you can watch people driving back and forth while I turn the HUD off for your entertainment and pleasure. Because I'm like that. Your entertainment and pleasure argue. And then you've got the words Colonel AFK written all over the screen. That's certainly really, really bigging up the image, isn't it? Yeah, that's bigging up a lot of things. Mute yourself then. Thank you, Tim. Hey, people, start queuing up those weather reports. Get them in. Get them in. We'll do the weather. We're going to do the weather. Today, you get the weather.
Currently 19 degrees Celsius and cloudy. Tonight, expect light rain and around 17 degrees Celsius. Tomorrow we'll see light rain, with a high of 21 degrees Celsius and a low of 15 degrees Celsius.
Thanks, Madam Google. You're still Madam Google, even though you talk like a stuck-up little dude these days. It's not bad, you know. It's not bad. No, I have my stuck-up little dude. He talks to me in the morning after my alarm goes off. I've told him, yeah, you can tell me, oh, the goons have worked out where the camera's pointing, so they're all hanging out going, hey, let's goon around while he's got the AFK. You can carry on doing that. I'm going to do the weather. I want a dance routine out of you people. No, not just bouncing. Come on, something sophisticated. You're better than that. Let's get to the weather report. Right, we'll go from... You've all put your game suggestions in too early. We'll talk about it on the way back again. And you already know why I'm going to veto some of them. But that's okay. It's hot in Kirby and Ashfield. There we go. McTonald's been a member for 43 long months. Thank you, McTonald. It's 18 degrees in Shropshire with a nice breeze starting. Lovely. North Brisbane in Queensland, it is currently 10 Celsius and partly cloudy with a high of 21. 17 and dry for now on the Yorkshire coast. In Dundee, it's roasting. It's also peeing it down. In Newquay, it's 17 Celsius. It's wet. It's rain. It's all of it. 26 Celsius, cloudy and dark in Tapaheen in Thailand. Cincinnati's 95 Fahrenheit has thunderstorms rolling through. Would you thunder? Well, thunder's happening all over the... Oh, don't brick my digger in, you clowns. It was inevitable. It was inevitable. Don't ruin the landscape, otherwise I'll have to fix it. It's 18 in Bristol, 15 and cloudy on the Isle of Bute. Yeah, 22 waiting for rain and thunder to cool down in Leiden in the Netherlands. Just Leiden, I think. 24 Celsius and clear in Hamburg, 69 and cloudy in the UP. United Philippines. Union Pacific. The Universal Programme. 18 in Mansfield is 21 and jolly lovely in Pilsen. 83 I saw, 85 in Niskayuna, New York with a nice breeze. Mosgiel in New Zealand is 1 degree and sunny. Lancashire's damp. It's 18 with scattered clouds in Lancashire. Lancaster no less. See, Patkins has given a proper weather report there, Jeff Royd. Your summary means nothing. Binnacle. In Somerset West in South Africa, it's 9 Celsius. At midnight, it's 19 with clear skies in Timișoara in Romania. 19 Celsius, decent outside, muggy inside in Nottinghamshire. 22 Celsius in High River, Alberta. Sunny with empty threats of rain in southwest Germany. Nice. Good description. 63 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy with a light breeze in San Francisco. Brixham in Devonshire. It is damp, hot and very humid. Hot and sadly still dry in Took in the Netherlands. Rain is promised though. Columbus, Ohio. It's 29 Celsius, which is 83 on the Fahrenheit scale, and it's about to rain. 18 in Northampton. 22 waiting to cool down after a sunny day near Nuremberg. It is Pete Smells nodded off. It's not criticism, he's just tired. Good night, Pete. Sleep well. 20 Celsius and mostly cloudy in Calgary with a hint of breeze. 83 Fahrenheit humid in Metro Detroit. 87 hot humid in Bumpus, Virginia. Upper Peninsula of Michigan. UP. I'm never going to remember that. Yeah. You've got to be a bit more specific than that. I will give... See, I like to give people locations that they should be familiar with, only going as far as state and indeed country if I feel that that requires explanation. Dusky. A Youper, says Dirty Dishes, hello from the LP. Oh my giddy aunt. Michigan represent. 16 in Kildare and it's drizzling. 22 Celsius and clear near Stockard. It should be Stockyard. Daniel, have a word. In Sweden, you're not seeing any rain today, which feels odd. Little Rock in Arkansas. Yeah. Little Rock's in Arkansas. Yeah. Okay, it's 97 Fahrenheit anyway. That's flipping hot. 87 Freedom degrees with scattered thunderstorms and 100% humidity in Tupelo, MS, Missouri. It's not Mississippi, that's MI. Okay. MS, Missouri. Tupelo. I know, I've heard of Tupelo. Yeah. Do you think Tupelo, Missouri is right? MS. Could it be? Are there any other MSs? Seriously, people, American friends, please have a word and give everybody unique state abbreviations using a rule that the rest of the world can get behind. You know what your state abbreviation is. But the M's are out of hand. MI is Michigan, not Minnesota, not Missouri, no, not Mississippi, no. Yeah. Sort it out. You need a better system, right? Okay, that's all I'm going to tell you. You need a better system. The system you have is rubbish. Cooler than it was in Newark. Okay. 33 and cloudy in Pflugerville in Texas. CTX. Can't mistake that for anywhere else. That's not going to be Tennessee, is it? No. But I bet Tennessee's TE. No, it's TN. You sure? Don't know. No. Have a word. Your founding fathers... they didn't think these things through. Mind you, the founding fathers had nothing to do with the state naming. No, that came about, whatever. 17 Celsius, 89% here. You know, a founding mother to be on there as well. And go, well, this makes no sense, does it? Look at the periodic table of elements, right? See how there's no overlap there? They kind of go, well, explain Fe to me then. Well, that's ferrous, isn't it? It's Latin. They go, well, why is everything else in English? It's not, though. It's all Latin. Well, why do we call it iron? Because we're thick. 19 in Liverpool with fireworks going off outside. Yeah. No, I see you've kicked the Americans off now. Oh, we've finished. Oh, really? Okay. Well, that was easy. Arctic Circle of Norway, it is 20 Celsius, says Borg. Which state of breathing confused me? All the ones beginning with M. Because they're stupid. I'm pretty sure it's just that. Get off my truck, you. You know this causes physics woes. Stop bonking my truck. I'll show you who that is bonking my truck. Turn this back on and find out. It's Lily. Go away, Lily. Get back to work. Right. There you go. Right. Good. Right. Speaking of getting back to work, let us go and see how the road crew hath progressed. Have I got a more lively vehicle? No, not at the moment. And vehicle sharing is perilous and likely to end in tears. Yeah. Oh, and yeah, the W's, they're not helpful either. The M's and the W's, both desperately unhelpful. Yeah. Yeah. M's and W's, because they don't make any sense. Because there's no consistency with regard to the rule. No consistency. It's made up randomly. Plus, all your states have got, they've all got M's, A's, S's, and I's. And you just randomly shuffle it around and then change it routinely. Yeah. Yeah, just changing it constantly. 18 Celsius in Worthing in WS, which it could be Washington, I suppose. Could be Wisconsin, because there's an S in there as well, but it's not. It's, no, well, what WA? WA could be Washington. Okay, what else could it be? I don't know. WY is Wyoming. Okay, yeah, fine. Good. Yeah. Slough is 20 Celsius with 77% humidity right now. You need much more rain. Okay. State abbreviations were adopted by the Postal Service in 1963. Before that, you had to write the state name out on your mail. Look at this. Asphalt. Does this give me a turn of speed? You've missed a bit. You've missed another bit. You've missed some bits here. You should drive faster on asphalt. That's a game observation rather than anything else. Yeah. Yeah. This is Town, incidentally. It's come along a bit. Town does quite a few different things now. It's rather good. Yeah. Can you purchase a quad bike? No, I don't think you can. I don't think there is a quad bike. Yeah. And that's before you get to Kansas City not actually being in Kansas. You've got, considering you're such a young country, you could have made a lot. See, I can totally get behind grid-based cities. I think that they make it very easy to navigate, and it is. I mean, they might be a little bit soulless, but at the same time, it's just an improvement in terms of navigation. Can totally get behind that. But when it comes to the rest of it, no, it's all nonsense. There you go. Right, what should we play next? There you go. We're done because, we're done with this because you've seen all of the rides in the fun fair, and we've ridden on a few of them, and progress is being made. But we could play another 500 hours, and there'd still be progress to be made. That's not a criticism of the game. If anything, that's quite an endorsement of the game. If you're having a lovely time, not running out of things to do, I'd say is a pretty good place to be. Yeah. So there's that. Medieval Dynasty. Hang on, Tim's on the blower. Medieval Dynasty, played it. 7 Days to Die, played it. Or something multiplayer with Steve, Jake, and Stegs, or Steve or Jake or Stegs. Medieval Dynasty, no, thank you. 7 Days to Die, no, again, thank you. I've played it, I've done it, and I played it when it was still good. So it's not anymore because they don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. They are the development team I have the least respect for. And I backed that game on Kickstarter over a decade ago. Cash Cleaner Sim. Finished it, Dan. I finished it. Done. I played it. I put in 50 hours on it over the first weekend it was out. It's fantastic. It's great. Love Cash Cleaner Sim. It's fabulous. No desire to play any more of it. But I finished it. I completed the story. You go, what's a simulator doing with a story? There's horses for courses. Roadcraft. We're playing Roadcraft now, Jenny. We're just playing it in a different game. I've no interest in repeating the same experience in a game that wears a slightly different hat. And I chose this instead of Roadcraft because everyone was doing Roadcraft, so I decided to go and do something else instead. Can you show us the upper mine? I don't. Yeah, I will do. I don't think much has changed there, but we can certainly go up there. Play Icarus. Interesting. Here's the thing, right? Survival games, and this is borderline a survival game, right? Survival games require a server of some description. unless you play it on yourself. And playing it on yourself, you've only got a finite amount of entertainment. And if I play a survival game, I invariably invite the fine people of Fail Brigade to get stuck in as well. And I've spoken about this recently. And it means I'll go like, welcome to episode 1, everybody, where the world is fresh and new and nothing has been built and it's amazing. And hopefully over the coming episodes, we'll be making some progress and we'll be doing this and we'll be doing that and the rest of it. Anyway, thanks for watching. I've been Colonel Failure. Right. I'll then come back the following day and Fail Brigade will have finished. They'll have done it all. They'll have finished it all because they'll have put in 17 hours in the past 2 days and got so far ahead that all sense of progress will be gone. The only reason this is working, because it would have happened in this game, were it not for the fact that I am hosting. And therefore, the game is only up when I say so, which is what I would have to do with other survival games. So, Icarus sort of appeals, but doesn't at the same time. Space Engineers, no, not Space Engineers. I've got no problem with Space Engineers, but it takes far, far, far too long to accomplish anything. Just so long. Great game to play. I've got all the time in the world for Space Engineers. I think the dev team are fantastic. I think the ethos they have with regards to the development of the game is great. But you've got to spend 20 hours before you've done anything. And it's no good for video, chums. That's the problem. No good for video. And I don't have the time in the week. No, Valheim, you can file out under the same thing. No, it's the same thing. Survival games, friends, survival games I think are out. I don't think it's happening. It takes too long to get anywhere, and if I open it up to multiplayer, the goons have finished the game before I've done my second part. There you go. Yeah, that's that. What about eco? Exactly. That's where the biggest problem occurs. The biggest problem, because the economy in eco is so tragically broken. Eco, fabulously good idea for a game. The economy is garbage. It is absolute rubbish. Is the economy, because if you get there first and set up a tree farm overnight, an automated tree farm overnight, leave it running, you corner the market on all things wood, you make more money than God. Everybody else's personal economy, they haven't got any money at all. Whoever develops their wood economy first becomes server billionaire, and everybody else are just serfs. So it doesn't work. Is anyone still playing Soviet Republic on YouTube? I reckon B-Ball Joe probably still is. I think there's probably a few channels that are, but B-Ball Joe would be my best guess. Is Airborne Kingdom ready for a second look? I'll be honest with you, I'm over it. You know what? They ruined it for me with the second one. I think the first one was a stunningly beautiful, near perfect game. I think the second one, they ruined it. Yeah, I mean, they kept a lot of the elements from the first one that were good, but then they went out into early access, and you just kind of go, oh, could I not play it with it being finished? Could have waited until it was finished, but that's not how being a games persona on YouTube works, unfortunately. Get there early or you miss all the viewers. The music's not as good. They turned all the people into birds, which I don't understand, and they added combat, which wasn't necessary. So yeah, sadly, I believe I might be over it. Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah. There you go. Hello, Eileen. Yeah, I'll run you a late fee tab, Eileen. No problem at all. How about a Tony Hawk's new skateboard game targeted at 50-year-olds? It's tempting, but I'd be straying too far outside the traditional Kernel Failure audience taste profile. You know, the traditional Kernel Failure audience taste profile will run the gamut from simulators, both janky and fun, through to slightly more serious. I managed to convince you all that Bannerlord was a good wheeze, so that's in there. And then we're into management / strategy, usually without too much of a militaristic leaning. Usually, you don't object too heavily to a militaristic type leaning. The best stuff I do is all character emergent narrative driven. That's where I'm at my best, but it doesn't get the best audiences. So what does get the best audiences? Trains. Mind Over Magic, the finale. Bob, I'm over it. I've left it too long. I love Mind Over Magic. I think it's great. I think it's fabulous. They kept moving the goalposts on me, but again, early access. Early access games sadden me greatly. But there you are. Yeah. Fail Brigade multiplayer Bannerlord. No. Under no circumstances. Because it'll be rubbish, is what it'll be. It won't be fun. It won't be a fun watch. It will be rubbish. You know why? Because I'm not very good at the game. I'm pretty mediocre at the game, and you're going to have some sweaty youth who's played it a lot and is really good at it and has still got optimized reflexes and can be bothered to figure out how to parry or dodge or block or something like that, and they'll go, you know what's the funniest thing ever is killing the dude who's streaming. Funniest thing ever. I'm going to go and do it now, and he's dead. And then I'm going to go and do it again. And I'm going to keep going because I'm laughing myself stupid here. He's getting more irate, which is making me laugh even more. Oh, he's not even bothering to move anymore. I'll just keep doing it. It's not fun. Same goes for first-person shooters as well. Adversarial combat games as a streamer, unless you've got something to prove in terms of how brilliant you are, only do it if you enjoy being killed repeatedly by people flexing how brilliant they are at games. So, no. Isn't multiplayer Bannerlord just sieging a castle? Yeah, it is. But even so, there's no point to it. I'll just get killed repeatedly. And where's the fun in that? It doesn't make for good... Then that's the thing, is it has to make for good video. Has to make for good video. If it doesn't make for good video, it's not going to make a good video. Good game does not necessarily equal good video. Equally, terrible game can quite often equal good video. There is no cause and effect between good game and good video. Yeah. Will I be revisiting Derail Valley? No. I will not be revisiting Derail Valley. I like Derail Valley. I think it's good. Yep. Fine game. Fine game. Derail Valley, but I've done it. I've played it. I've had enough of it. Thank you very much. It's good. But I've got no interest in playing anymore. Yes. Dinosaurs, and the most popular aspect is dinosaurs and goldfish. I've clearly been doing this wrong all this time. I don't think I played a dinosaur game. I don't think I played a goldfish game. Peak could be a good wheeze. Me and the kids play Peak, and the other one we play is the Headliners, and it's very funny. It's very, very funny. Yeah, stupendous. The other things we play are Dale and Dawson Paper Company, We play Witch It. We play Ultimate Heist 2, I think it is, something like that. But we only we've started playing a little bit of Friends versus Friends, which is good fun. But that tends to be when there are fewer of us. We tend to play games that are primarily cooperative, because team failure is so much more fun. Railroad Tycoon, is there a new one? That's a trap question. I'm being facetious. Yeah. If there isn't a new one, I ain't playing it. No. Does Bannerlord support PvE sieging? Don't know, but you can still file that general notion in the no column. No. Yeah. What about the original Evil Genius? Is there a new one? The original one wasn't that great either. The sequel was less innovative. It was well done, but they didn't work out the agents' problem, and they didn't resolve the lack of fun with agents. So Evil Genius 2 was fine, and I played a lot of Evil Genius 2, and you can see videos of it on my internet channel of YouTube. So you can, enjoy yourself with that. Do you fancy playing some more? If I were to play more Evil Genius, I would do a one and done. And I'm not ruling it out neither. Yeah. Bombay Molotov. Sorry, did I pick on you, Bombay? I don't see where I did. Or maybe you feel called out. Yeah. Have I done Planet Coaster 2? Not yet. I've got a plan for it when I get round to it. I know exactly what I want to do for Planet Coaster 2. Yeah. I know exactly what I want to do. Getting a bit of a pile on the other side of the dump. Yeah, I know, because there's a bit of overspill occasionally. That's okay. It's fine. It's not a problem. I appear to have stuck myself in a hole. Well, it's a hole that you dug. Yeah, well, yeah. Do you want to dig it out into a nice slope, maybe? I'll see what I can do. Clan Folk. I looked at Clan Folk, and it only... I could never No, did I? I think I might even have played it. I would go and look in my Steam library, but it's boring when I do that. I may have played it. I certainly looked at it for a bit, and it felt like there was nothing that really screamed at me, this is the game from which stories will emerge. So I think, it just never ran at it. SnowRunner, no, I played MudRunner. SnowRunner's the same game, so there's no need to play the sequel. Oh, it's so much better. It's the same game. But it's so much the same game. Still the same game. It is the same game. Whiter. But it is the same game. You suggest 2 Point Museum. I've considered 2 Point Museum. Having previously vetoed other 2 Point titles. Because they believe that a one-time visual gag is a replacement for an actual sense of humour. Or funny writing. You can't necessarily blame them for that, because that's what Theme Hospital did originally. It was replace humour with a one-time visual gag and call it funny. How about Dyson Sphere Programme? Well, Wandless, here's the good news. You've just become a member of the Fail Brigade, and as such, there are many, many episodes of Dyson Sphere Programme available for you to watch right now in the Blockbuster video section of the Fail Brigade Discord. Many, many episodes. I don't know how many I got up to, but it was quite a few. Yeah. Big Ambitions. Played it, Daniel. I've played it. Go and look for the series. Quite a good series. Quite a good fun series. But there's a playlist available publicly on YouTube. You can go get it. Who's at the door? No one's at the door. There's nothing happening with the door. You're imagining it. Oh, you know what? I've slid over. See, there you go. I'm half amputating bits of myself. Did I give Per Aspera a go? No, I didn't. Why not? Don't know. Crime Simulator. I didn't know there was a crime simulator. I played Thief Simulator. Does that count? There's videos as well. I was almost quite pleased with those videos. Yeah. Christopher said the difference between SnowRunner and MudRunner. Oh, come on, the maps are different. Oh, yeah, okay, that's valid. They are entirely different. Yeah. Captain of Industry. I bounced off Captain of Industry. I'm not going to lie. I tried it. It's fine. I get it. I see why people like it. But I played it and I bounced off it. Didn't enjoy it. It's not... It rewards... it's more of a Factorio thinker than it is an industry building experience. From my perspective. Doesn't mean it's good. Doesn't mean it's bad. I like Factorio and factory builders. But it's not my... It left me cold. Oh, Who's at the Door is a game... A short psychological horror game inspired by surreal titles like The Exit 8. It offers roughly 90 to 120 minutes of immersive gameplay. I mean, I appreciate the recommendation and all, but does that sound remotely like anything that fits the aforementioned kernel failure video viewing demographic swim lane? Or does that sound like it's just something else entirely? Schedule 1, played it, Borg. Go and have a look at the streams from about 2 months ago. I did 2, 3 of those. Played it. It's good. Schedule 1. There you go. Did you give Banished a crack? Yes, Nex. If you go and look for playlists about 10 years ago, you will find... Banished among them. 2 series, in fact. Hello, Ed. What do you need?
Hello. Can I purchase another tarmac dumper, asphalt dumper? It's about 180.
Have you broken the first one? Yeah, of course you can. If
the
the, yeah, no. Go get another one. It's all good.
Thank you, sir.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, you see, I play a lot of games, and I do a lot of research into games. I think that you'll enjoy watching. I've got, I've changed how I was going to do it. Maybe I've changed how I was going to do it, but I'm going to do. Can't I visit the Red Alert series? I've never touched RTSs on this channel, Mike. Or have I? Didn't I do one as a one-off and everybody said, this is not your swim lane, get out of it? I don't think so. I think the closest I got to an RTS was playing Majesty, and that was after frothing about Dwarf Fortress again. Yeah. Farthest Frontier, played it. There's a series available until I abandoned it. Don't get me wrong, I encountered some bugs in it, but also I really didn't think it was bringing anything new to the party. Obviously, your mileage will vary. Farthest Frontier is all right, but that's from my perspective, that's all it is. Is a 4x difference to an RTS? Yeah, 4x is turn-based, Liam. An RTS is real-time. I like a good 4x, but it's difficult to keep a narrative going. When I did Humankind, whenever I did Humankind not so long ago, it's so difficult to commentate. Or comment on. Commentate is the right word. You provide commentary. And the reason it's difficult is because there's... you end up doing a lot of play-by-play commentary, which is fine, but it's not immersive. It's not, and rarely is it Rarely is it funny, surprising, stuff like that. I mean, you get to yell at the other leaders, and that's good. Survival Machine. I don't know Survival Machine. I don't know. I enjoyed the Lord of Dwarves series. I loved the Lord of Dwarves series. Really enjoyed it. But my goodness me, what an ugly game. What an absolutely horribly ugly game. What games will I be thinking? I don't know. I'll look them up in a minute, but I've got a few in mind. I've just got to pick which one is best for streaming. And then, because what I'm looking for is maybe 2-3 games to play in the time between now and when the Bannerlord sequel, the expansion, comes out. Originally, they put a date on it. Rule 1, people, never give dates. And they missed that date, and now they've given a vague date, but they've still said it's Q4 2025. And I would put money on it, them missing that date as well. It would not... I wouldn't put a massive amount of money, but I'd put some money on them not hitting that date. Because the one thing I know about... the Bannerlord devs, Tailwinds, is they can't forecast for toffee. Certainly can't forecast their own productivity. Have I tried Railroader? Yes, thank you. Didn't enjoy it. No, it's not for me. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not for me. Yeah. Good. Yeah, the problem... yeah, okay, Christopher. Well, I know. I give you the ideas for which games to go and play. It's part of the job, baby. Is find the games I think you'll find interesting to watch. And then maybe you fancy going and playing them afterwards. I've got no skin in the game, other than if I find the right alchemy of game plus commentary, we get some banging videos, right? You enjoy watching them. I enjoy playing it. Everybody wins. If the alchemy is wrong, however, then nobody watches it, or I don't enjoy playing it, and that's no good. Whether you end up buying the game or not is absolutely makes no difference to me in the slightest. I get no kickbacks or anything like that. Occasionally, once upon a time, I was partnered up with the old Epic Game Store. I think I still am if I can be bothered to play anything else on Epic, but I can't, so I don't. Yeah. More like Q3 2026. I wouldn't put a date on it at all. Wouldn't put any date on it at all. I just don't know. Weren't you going to expose Shadow Rage Legends? Yeah, actually, they approached me to see if they could... Raid Shadow Legends approached me to see if they could sponsor a video. In that today's video has been brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends. I replied because I'd had a great idea. Normally, I wouldn't do a sponsored segment. I find that interrupting your own personal videos with an advert that nobody cares about for a product that nobody needs or wants is... It's basically whatever quality was in your video, you reduced it. So, by and large, I don't go for that kind of thing. But what I was going to do is do a Let's Play of Raid Shadow Legends as my sponsorship segment. Do an entire video on it. Because I've seen it advertised a lot. Never played it. No. Because it's a mobile game. Right? Mobile games, rightfully, have a bit of a stigma attached to them. Because they don't just let you buy them and play them. No. If they did, they might be better. But instead, they let you buy them and play them a little bit. And then watch this ad. And then buy some extra coins. And then level up your thing. And then wait till this action is complete. They let you install it and not play it. Therein lies the problem. Apart from Plague Inc., which was fantastic. I haven't played the sequel to Plague Inc., which is about something else. But it's more or less the same game, is what I've seen of it anyway. But Plague Inc. is fantastic. And it is better than Pandemic the board game in every conceivable way. Lots of modern board game aficionados recommend Pandemic. I do the opposite. I say, if you can find someone else who's got it, go and play it a couple of times. Don't buy it. Oh, well, you could. It supports the overall spirit of growth in the board game's macrosphere. However, it's not a good game. It's conceptually good, but the mechanics are ultimately very, very flawed. Mike, will we get to see your products, the products I'm mining? I'm mining stone, Mike. I'll tell you what. I'll show you the full chain pipeline. Although Team Asphalt are not going to be thrilled if I turn off the stone tap. Although this is mostly dirt by the looks of it. But it all needs filtering. So yeah, I'll show you the production. Production line, a more different car factory game. I hate it. I've got it, obviously. I'm yearning for a good car manufacturing game. Yearning. And production line ain't it. You know why? Because it's not a car manufacturing game, it's a puzzle game. Well, you've got to fit all of these pieces into this space. And yeah, this one, the entrance and exit are at really awkward places. Got to fit them all together, though. How will you fit all of these pieces into this one space? It's a puzzle game. It is not. It is not a tycoon game. It is not a management game. It's a flipping puzzle game, and therefore it can sod off. I have very strong feelings about puzzle games. Gear City or automation. Gear City is the better tycoon. And that's not hard because Automation's tycoon game is an atrocity. However, Automation's car designer is spectacular. It is so good. But the tycoon game is just appalling and it's awfully bad. Gear City on the flip side, the car designer is average. But the other thing, the tycoon game's pretty good. It's not great, but it's pretty good. Yeah. Car manufacturers and automotive tycoon game. Yeah, I've looked at it and I didn't buy it, so I've not tried it out. So watch this space. It looked only okay. It looked like it might be a little bit limited in terms of control over things. Yeah. You're hoping that automation improves now that the car bits are mostly done. It won't. It won't. It's not the focus of the game, and because the size of the development, I take nothing away from automation except that it's not a good tycoon game. Or for me, it's not a tycoon game I enjoyed. I did not enjoy the game side of it at all. I did enjoy the motor vehicle designing aspect, which I thought was brilliant. The vehicle designer is absolutely stupendous. Yeah. Don't know what side of the road you think you're driving on. I'm driving on both sides of the road. You missed a bit, and a bit. Yeah, and a bit there, and some bits here. You missed another bit there. This road's coming along though, isn't it? Yeah. What are we doing here? Oh, we're showing where the... Okay, so we quarry the stone, right? And then after the stone is... Thanks, car. After the stone is quarried, we come and dump it in this grid. And unless someone's mucked with it, which they probably won't have done, they wouldn't have needed to, right? The grid feeds into one of two hoppers. It can feed into either of them, and it will route from one into the other, right? It's just so that I could have a wider dumping section to make it easier for trucks. It then goes up this doodad here. It goes into this thing, the jaw crusher, where the pre-crushed stone is then ground up into gravel. At which point it comes along this way. Look, there you go. Here comes some now. Right, and this is where they've monkeyed with it. And some of it goes out this way, and some of it goes out the other way. And I don't know why it goes back. Oh, we're storing some in case I need cement. Maybe. Gravel, dirt. No one's filtering. There's lots of... People have deliberately put one block of dirt to block the filler, maybe? Don't know, but there were a clever reason for it. That's probably the reason anyway. And then it filters out of here, goes round there, and at some point it's going to be turning into... This is an oil refinery. That's nice to know. And here's the asphalt plant, which uses some oil, and then it uses the gravel, and it turns it into asphalt, which is being shoved up this tower. Oh, they've built a case around the outside of it. That's nice. And then it's shoved into the asphalt trucks. They're doing the same approach I'm doing at the other end, which is it's basically always on. There's no switches in this game yet. It needs some switches or pressure plates or that kind of, triggers of some kind. So it trickles into there, which lands it back on the belt, which feeds it back into a loop again. So it loops again. Yeah. The most miserable series to watch was Subnautica because you hated every minute. Subnautica was extraordinarily disappointing because I really enjoyed all of the underwater exploration and building an underwater base. What I hated was the bolted on, entirely unnecessary, go over here and listen to a radio log. Which was awful, just awful, and ruined a perfectly good, very atmospheric survival game. Sam has become a member of the Fail Brigade. Well done, Sam. Wise choice. It is mighty fine to have you among us here on a channel where we don't play Among Us. Yes. You keep mentioning, but I seem to miss it. Have I tried Odd Sparks? I've never heard of Odd Sparks. No, it was the attempt to bolt a story onto Subnautica that ruined it. I didn't need a story. I was quite happy exploring the water world in my submarine. But you had to go and do the pointless, stupid, go and listen to a terrible audio log storyline in order to be able to unlock the new thing that allowed you to do the thing. And therefore it's wasting my time. It is the second worst in category for that. The first being Frostpunk. Oh yeah, I know. I blow very much against the common perceptions of several games. But Frostpunk was equally awful in taking... Actually, it wasn't a good city builder. It was a bad city builder. They had a bad city builder that they made worse by putting mandatory, oh no, how are you going to fail today, decision QuickTime events in there, which ruined one of the best, most immersive, atmospheric games ever. Oh, you might want to smooth that bit out. I just ruined it because I drove the bulldozer to flip my Jeep over. Sorry about that. Yeah. Because bulldozers are a menace. Because they use the wrong controls. To raise and lower the dozer blade should be up and down cursor, where you've got some control over it. Doing it on the mouse means you've got no control at all, so you're always doing... Oh, wrong button. So you're always doing some kind of wonky angle. It's not thought through. Cursors, where you can work with precision. Hey, never mind. Good. Yeah. Fast Food Simulator. The time has passed on Fast Food Simulator. I do kind of fancy it. But I'd need to take a unique angle on it. That's the thing. and more than a superficial come up with some clever branding, and instead I'd need to do a maximum effort. Take a look at Oddsparks. It's a fun game. All right, hang on. I'm going to take a look at Oddsparks, which is apparently a fun game. We'll see if we can reject it within 3 words. Maybe we will. Maybe we won't. An automation adventure. It's not started well. Okay. Oh, did I see this already? I think I saw it mentioned. Okay. It's cute. Yeah. It's cute. It's got a nice quirky art style. It's an automation game. Yeah. Quirky Factorio. Yeah. We could share this screen, you know. It's just the trailer. Yeah. No, but then you become the reacts to. Oh, we don't do that. No, all you're doing is reacting to. Yeah. Okay, what's new that brings it to the party? The word adventure worries me. But it's got building, single-player co-op, automation, and 3D. 3D is not a tag that you should use, honestly. It's a mix of real-time strategy, automation like in Factorio, and a cute fantasy world to explore. Okay. Is casual yet intricate automation game that combines the serene exploration of Stardew Valley with the logistical challenge of Factorio. A quirky fusion of factory building and fantasy exploration. One half of which I like, one half of which I tolerate. Interesting. It's not a no, but it's not a yes. Yeah. It doesn't. There doesn't seem to be anything inherently wrong with it, Gordon. The word I was looking for was RPG, or potentially puzzle. Either of which are an immediate hard yeet. But no, it had neither of those immediate disqualifying factors. It doesn't speak to me, right? It doesn't make me go, oh yeah, can't wait. I'm well up for some of that. Grounded, which is a survival game. I think we vetoed survival games earlier on. Too much time investment. Too much time. House Flipper 2. It's been in my library since the day it released. Yeah. It'll show you the upper mine. Yep, we'll go to the upper mine in a moment. I'm just going to shovel some more stone into the stone shoveler. You first saw it watching Gemballs and Snot. No idea who they are. Oh. Yes, I do. Yeah. They're the Satisfactory community managers. Yeah. They're fine. They're not. They haven't qualified as community managers yet. That's all. Throwing shade at a professional colleague. The reason I say that is because what they've worked on is an excellent, very well received, much loved game. In a community sense, that is known as super easy no fail mode. It is so much, and it's not your fault that you're working on super easy no fail mode. Not your fault at all. But at the same time, till you've dealt with a few death threats, you haven't lived. Deal with a few death threats. Deal with some politicians who are threatening to burn the building. There's some petitions that are threatening to burn the building down daily. Deal with those dozen or so people who are screaming at you non-stop every day of the week, and then still go like, oh, I totally love being a community manager, because until you can play the away game, that neither of them are a coffee stain anymore. Yeah, I know. I suspect the post-release bonus paid out, which is totally fine. A lot of quite a few dev studios get started because the dev stays with the existing studio until the post-release bonus pays out, and then they go off and use that money to start something of their own. And that's fabulous for the industry because it means that you get to spread that experience around and start new things with it. Yeah, Dawn Apart looks like a good game to play. I've been looking at Dawn Apart. I think what I was waiting for is, oh yeah, it was early access. And so I went, I'll wait until they put some game in the game and then I'll go and play it. Yeah. I thought both Snut and Gem did a perfectly good job repping Satisfactory. But it was an easy job. Repping a game where the sun shines every day is. I'm sure there were challenges. I'm sure there were plenty of times where they just kind of go like, where they go, "Oh, it's super difficult. What? Oh, they really do want pipes. Oh, okay. How unhappy is it making them? Oh, not at all. But they really want those pipes. Yeah. Could we have pipes? Because they really want. I jest. I'm a jaded old man and nothing else. Right. Good. Yeah. Anyway, you watched them play something or other and something else, and it looked good. Cool. It just doesn't quite sing to me. Yeah, need to find a game. See, what I look for in a game that I'm going to potentially present to you is I look for something that is going to be visually interesting, along with opportunities for some disaster or the unexpected, mixed with a subject matter that is one I know you either already like or I have a strong hunch isn't going to turn you off. And there's no such thing as finding the thing that will please everybody. Even if it was trains, there'd be some of you who'd go like, oh, not trains. Yeah. Yeah, so it's a tricky one. Would I ever play Satisfactory again? Yeah, sure. I'd have to be quite bored. And because that's the other problem. Games like this are a catnip for me. I will get immersed in something like this and play tons and 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 tons of it, and won't have progressed any of the things I actually want to progress. Because this is mental chewing gum. It's relaxing. It chills me out. It's just a happy, easygoing, simple way to unwind. That it very much supports having a movie on screen too. Also acts as a massive distraction from me doing anything useful. And you go, well, you're streaming it, so that's useful. Yes, but I'm not progressing. Not progressing the overall scheme, the overall notion of making some really flipping great videos on video games. That's the aspiration. 2 Point Museum. I think 2 Point Museum might be the winner, you know. Certainly for a one and done, if not more. Yeah. Hello, Colonel. Just want to say well done on the Transport Fever 3 introduction video. Hope you guys can deliver. And boy, do I wish I can have a hard copy once it's ready. Well, you can't. Yeah. Hold on, put your professional hat on. Why not? No one does hard copies anymore, right? On console, they don't have drives. The number of people who have a CD-ROM or a DVD-ROM on their PC is minuscule. It is not worth the effort and cost and logistics to reproduce on disc for a few old schoolers who like having things on disc. However, actually, I don't know that this will happen, but presumably at some sort, or conceivably at some point, it might end up on GOG, goodoldgames.com, which is GOG.com, in which case they offer DRM-free versions of games, which would mean you could take the game, burn the installer onto a DVD, and then you would have your own hard copy. The market has moved away from hard copy, and therefore you'd have to be particularly dedicated to it in order to offer it in that fashion, or you would have to have a sizable enough market who would actually want to buy it in that fashion, and neither of those things is true. Not for a game on the scale of a Transport Fever. Yes. Yeah. Disappointing, I know, but I'm not going to lead you on and suggest that, oh no, we'll definitely consider doing that, because it's no, we won't definitely consider doing it. It's not going to happen. It's not something that is of interest enough to sufficient people to be worth the extra, oh my giddy aunt, that's a lot of effort to go through to put it on hard copy. And then you've got to think, well, in what countries are you going to distribute it? And you go, oh, flaming heck. Can we just do it in one country? No, because the 3 people in another country who want a hard copy will have a go at you. Yeah. But hard copy on what? No one has a hard copy facility drive unless they've gone out of their way to do so. If you go out and buy a new PC today, it does not have a physical media insert to go drive. And that's been the case for at least 5 years. Probably 10 years. They just don't come with CD or DVD readers anymore. You can still use a console with hard copy. The 2 current gen consoles don't have discs. Don't have physical discs. It doesn't. And if you go and buy a oh no, hold on, maybe they do. When was the last time you played anything on disc? Don't know. Last gen did though. Last gen definitely did. Farm Sim came out with a hard copy for the collector's edition, but that's probably the exception. And they probably lost money on it as well. Yeah. What about external hard drives? Hard drives still exist, certainly, but the number of people who use them is minuscule. There's a balancing act to be done for because it's non-zero in terms of both effort, and it's non-zero in terms of cost and hassle to add any platform of any kind. So if you were to draw up a big long list of, at the top, it is worth doing. Put it on PC, offer it on Steam. Okay. Also at the top, where it is worth doing, put it on PlayStation. Right? Put it on Xbox. Okay. Now you're talking. Put it on the Epic Games Store. Yeah. You start working your way down the list, and you get things like put it on Linux, and you go, put it on Linux. I'm confirming nothing. And then a little bit below that, you go, put it on Mac. Okay. And then you keep working your way down, and working your way down, and working your way down. At some point, you kind of go like, put it so you can play it on your fridge. And then just below that, put it on physical media. I joke. So, yeah. I don't know. This is not dismissive of those who want it on physical media. I get all the reasons Yeah, and it boils into the I want to be able to play this game permanently because of the amount I've paid for it. And you kind of go, all right, that's a reasonable position to be in. At some point, the multi-billion-dollar company Steam may go out of business. And you go, that's not likely, is it? And you go, but that's not the real concern. The real concern is that you lose access to your Steam account. And they can't help you out in terms of restoring it. So you lose access a different way in 15 years' time when you have absolutely no desire to play it. But you may want to revisit it. And since you paid money for it, you don't want the right to do so taken away from you. It's not unreasonable. It's not unreasonable. Yeah. So there you go. Good. Steam or Epic shut down today, then the games that you purchase become redundant for most people. Do you want to take another swing at that in a sentence? Yeah. Yeah. Because I don't know what I can't interpret what the point is that you're making. Too Old sounds the dial-up sound and the 3.5-inch floppy disk spinning up. Yep. Yep. And loading a game on cassette. Loading a game on cassette. Loading a game on cassette was a right earache. Yeah. I don't know if it's punctuation or just the words that... Oh, no, see, I loved 5.25-inch floppies. They felt so futuristic. And they still do now. I always thought... I mean, the hard plastic floppies were much more robust, a much better design, and obviously they had greater storage on them, but they didn't feel anything like as cool. And not even close. If Steam or Epic shut down, then you'd lose access to everything. Yeah. But I think the likelihood that Steam or Epic shut down is like incredibly remote. I mean, just incredibly remote. If Gabe were to decide, Gabe and the entire team at Valve tomorrow were to decide, that's it, we're done with Steam. Yeah, let's just turn it off. They would have an offer within 17 seconds of more money than you could possibly imagine to take it over. We'll buy it off you. Leave it up during the transition, we'll buy the whole thing off you. For all the money, right? It would probably be Microsoft. I think Microsoft would get in there first offering serious cash. And then I think there'd be a price war between Microsoft, Epic, Nvidia, and Apple. I think they would all try and buy Steam from Valve. Because it suits their business market really, really well. Nvidia's maybe an outlier there. I only mention them because they are adjacent and they got the money. Steam might switch off temporarily, but they would be bought out in no time at all. And if the buyout offer were not accepted, the founders of Valve, who had sold Steam, would be sued into oblivion. They would spend the rest of their lives defending court cases. So they might want to have nothing to do with it anymore, but their life from that point on, rather than being involved in running Steam, would be defending court cases against having shut it down. Zuzi1579 has chucked a tenner in the bucket. Thank you very much. Same happens with music I bought over the past 20 years over and over. Same happens with music. Oh, what? Where? Yeah, but how many ownership platforms have gone down rather than licensed ownership? Rather than streaming, right? So it's like, have you paid your 79p on insert service and it's then gone belly up? Because the music's slightly different in that Apple had a big head start, and then Spotify came along and rendered them irrelevant. And still people will buy individual MP3s or whatever from Apple. I mean, I get it. Look, I grew up with physical media. I've sold all my physical media or thrown it away or whatever. You know why? Because digital is better. Because you have access to everything right now. And at some point, if it disappears, it will be quite sad. But my music collection is larger than it's ever been because everything's in it. I had a significant collection of vinyl. I had an even more significant collection of CDs, many of which will probably no longer play at this point, because that's the other thing about CDs is they have a shelf life. I don't know if the same is true of DVD Blu-ray, but I imagine it probably was. So yeah. I bought the Orange Box before I had Steam installed. Well, the Orange Box was what launched Steam. I worked on the Orange Box. Not in a significant way. Distribution for Europe. Because EA distributed it in Europe. But it still means that I have a Steam account that is older than the release date of Steam. Because we all got to get in early. Which is cool. Yeah. If I can't buy music in a format I can hold locally, I won't buy it. Interesting. You can hold any music locally. You just have to learn how to re-record it, and it's not that hard. You see, but you know, you're not buying. So if you're on Spotify, for example, you aren't buying the music anyway. You're effectively subscribing to the world's largest on-request radio station, where you can always tell the DJ what you want to hear next, or you can let the DJ play what you think you want to hear next. But I mean, I've got a stack of MP3s on my hard disk, a big stack. And 99% of those are almost legal because I ripped them from my own CDs. Of course, I then sold those CDs, thereby rendering them illegal, which is why I say almost legal. Yeah. Zizzy1579 stung another tenner in the bucket. Thank you very much. Vinyl, tape, CD, real audio, iTunes, Spotify. You keep buying your favourites. Oh, I see. So you're buying the same thing multiple times. You haven't necessarily lost access to it. And that's true. With me and movies, that's 100% true. Yeah, I think there are some movies, and it will only be a handful. What have you done there? Where I bought them on VHS, and then on DVD, and then on Blu-ray, and then digitally. Yeah. A quadruple dip. And in a couple of places, I think I probably also went to see them in the cinema. But you might go, whoa, what a rip-off. And you kind of go, well, it depends how you look at it. Had they charged me for all 5 of those platforms at the same time, then yeah, maybe I would be a bit cheesed off. But I was paying for it again for a piece of future technology that was an improvement over the technology I had previously. DVD versus VHS was mind-blowing Blu-ray versus DVD was less of a leap forward, but then digital versus Blu-ray meant that your library was right there when you want it. But it all depends how you frame it in your head. So if I've paid, let's just, a tenner for a movie in 1990, and then in the year 2000, I've paid another tenner to get it again on DVD. And in 2010, I bought it again by paying a tenner on Blu-ray. And then again in 2020, I paid a tenner to add it to my Amazon library. It's cost me a tenner a decade. And you know what? For a great movie, I'm fine with that. I'm okay with that. That's reasonable. Yeah, because I'll watch it multiple times. I only buy movies that I will definitely watch multiple times, and I like having lots of them. So the speed of rotation doesn't slow down. Here's a weird one for you though, right? And I can't explain it, other than maybe comfortable pair of shoe syndromes. There are currently 3 movies that I could watch every day. 3, right? And you won't expect any of them. I could watch the movie every day. There are a couple of outliers that I could watch maybe once a week and not get bored of that movie and still enjoy it as much as I always do. Now, this might change in terms of these movies. I may tire of them. But it's surprising. It's very surprising because they're not especially great movies. Certainly decent. Also, physical media can't be turned off or taken away, so that's an advantage. The disadvantage, you've got to keep it somewhere. Yeah, but it can decay though, Kev. That's the problem. There is no physical media that doesn't decay in some fashion or another. I mean, obviously some will last longer if you look after it. Yeah. Is one of the movies rollerball? No, it's not. You won't guess it. I'll let you have 2-3 minutes of guessing, and then I'll say Original June. Nope. No, love Original June, but I couldn't watch it every day. Serenity, oh God, no. Serenity's fine, but the impact of Firefly and Serenity comes from the witticisms. And when the wit, you've been there, you've heard it, and let's move on. When that dries up, or when you already know the line is coming, it's less effective. Oh, we got some good suggestions, right? Enemy of the State, no. I don't know what your obsession is with that. Flash Gordon, nope. Great movie. Master and Commander. You know what? Master and Commander, I would say, is bubbling under. I'd say I could probably watch Master and Commander once a month and be very happy with that. The Room, no. The Thing, nope. I have to reserve The Thing. I have to let enough of a gap form between viewings of The Thing because I like to give it above average levels of attention. Showgirls, no. You know the Showgirls story, I'm sure. Vaclav, you've been around long enough. Sam can't access Discord. Skip, could you post a Discord invite into the chat, please? Gladiator, God no. Ugh. There's nothing fundamentally wrong with Gladiator, but dear me, it's po-faced. The Matrix. Matrix is all right. No. Event Horizon or Dark City. You know my taste very well there, Tim, but neither. How old are these films? All 3 are post-2000. All 3 might be post-2010, actually. They might be beyond that. Real Genius, that's in my library. Good movie. But no. 12 Angry Men, brilliant. Not one. The Sting, brilliant movie. Highlander, brilliant movie. American Pie, God no, but you're in the right area. Sadly. Clerks, no. Lawrence of Arabia, Lawrence of Arabia is good, but I just don't get on with it that well. Jaws is phenomenal. I think Jaws might be in my top 3 favourites all time. We talked movies last week, right? So I will deliver because you won't have expected it. All right. Nobody has gone Solaris. That's bold. Right. Let's go for the movie at number 3. The movie at number 3 is Mr. Right, which is Anna Kendrick and Sam Rockwell. And I think it's rated like a 6.4 or similar on IMDb. Why? Because it has got such great effortless chemistry between the two of them that I can have them just on a second screen anytime, chuntering away and having adventures. I think Sam Rockwell is massively underrated. I think he is just phenomenal. And you've then got Tim Roth as well. And I think Tim Roth and Sam Rockwell are the same person from different sides of the Atlantic, because they've got weird, effortless charisma. Pitch Perfect. I'm all right with Pitch Perfect, but no. I mean, you picked an Anna Kendrick movie, so that's good. Anna Kendrick, right? She's got just an unusual charisma. A movie with Scarlett Johansson? No. No. The only movie I would put in that category would be Lucy, which is utter garbage. So, what? Luc Besson, what are you doing? Idiocracy is a great pick. It ranks up there with Office Space. They're both in exactly the same category of, my goodness me, this is an astute movie. It doesn't hold up to excessive amounts of repeat viewing. Because the impact comes from the original idea. Again, it's wit-based, you see. So there you go. The Nice Guys, great suggestion, Caldo, but it's not one of them. It is a great suggestion. I put The Nice Guys up there with movies like LA Confidential and The Usual Suspects in terms of absolute cinema. Yeah, right. Okay, so that was in third place, right, Mr. Right. And it's purely down to the chemistry of the two leads. All right, here we go. The Devil Wears Prada. That's another absolute slap of a movie. Devil Wears Prada is fabulous. How good is Meryl Streep in that movie? She is absolutely brilliant. And yeah, no, Meryl Streep, just superb. No, but Devil Wears Prada, no. Big fan, but not one of them. All right, at number 2, not Snatch. No. I'm fine with Guy Ritchie, but I can't help but think that Guy Ritchie's problem, my problem with Guy Ritchie, stems from the fact that Guy Ritchie is a Guy Ritchie tryhard. He tries too hard to make his movies like a Guy Ritchie movie. It's like he's doing a pastiche of himself. I tend to enjoy the movies. I enjoyed The Gentleman, the series. I thought that was good fun, but he tries too hard. Zuzi 1579 has slung a tenner in the bucket. Oh, that's bought me another decade of Alien. Thank you. Much appreciated. All right. So number 2, Goon. Flipping love Goon. Absolutely, I love Goon. Goon is so good. It is so good. I might watch Goon after we're done. I only watch Goon about 2. I stick it on screen too when I'm doing other things. I put on a friend, you see, and Goon is great. Every single word in the dressing room of the hockey team in Goon is gold. All of it. It's unrepeatable, and it's all of it. I love Goon. Goon 2, they lost the magic. They lost the magic for Goon 2. But the original, it's singing the song of my ancestors. You're more of a Slapshot. I like Slapshot just fine. I think Slapshot would... This is potential heresy. I think Slapshot would be worth a remake. I think they could redo it. I wouldn't deviate too far from it, but I would use some... I would change up the pacing to hit the modern era better. Movie pacing has changed somewhat. And I don't mean, dumb it down and speed it up to warp speed. You've got to have shadow and light to be able to appreciate shadow and appreciate light. And that's a pacing thing. But no, I think Slapshot's got too much slow. Ted Lasso. Unfortunately, I've only watched 2 seasons of Ted Lasso, after which herself stopped subscribing to Apple. And obviously, Apple will never see another penny of my money. So, with regret, I can't see Ted Lasso. Yeah. Mad Max, that's all good. You haven't heard of either? Oh, Goon is... Mr. Right is accessible to more or less anybody. It's a bit sweary here and there. It's a bit violent here or there, but it's not excessive. Goon, on the other hand, is very sweary and is bloodily violent because it's about ice hockey players whose sole responsibility is beating up other ice hockey players. It's very funny, but the language is very coarse indeed. Yeah. So that's my caution for you there. But it's very... But if you're good with that, then you'll enjoy it. Yeah. One grader embedded in the side of the hill. Well, we're not allowed to repackage them, right? And what do you mean? Go and dig it out. Earth Girls Are Easy. What a dreadful movie. Jeff Goldblum and Gina Davis. Dreadful movie. There are a lot of dreadful movies in that kind of time frame. Everyone was trying to find the next Ghostbusters. Yeah. They were called Enforcers. Yes, they were, Wayne. But I'm explaining it for the layman. Lay person, even. Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction's good. Yeah. But Pulp Fiction is the reason why Tarantino disappeared up his own derriere with regret. It's his best movie. Other than... Oh, it's right up there with True Romance. I love True Romance. True Romance is great. It's not a pleasant movie. Herself refused to watch True Romance. She really couldn't stand Tarantino at all. Anyway, on to number 1. And then we can move away from movies. We did movies last week. Sorry, we're here again. Number 1, you won't know it's coming, but here it comes. You'll think I'm joking, but I'm not. I last watched it 3 nights ago. Pretty sure, 3 nights ago. And it is... I won't tell you. I'll tell you who's in it. All right. The top billing is John Cusack. There you go. See, that's going to get you going, that is. You're going to go for good stuff first, and then work your way down the list. Yeah, you're going to go, oh, it's Grosse Point Blank, isn't it? And you go, no, it's not Grosse Point Blank. It's not Grosse Point Blank. The new Dungeons and Dragons movie's all right, Chris Pine Dungeons and Dragons movie, good movie. Yeah, I enjoyed that. Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, it didn't take itself too seriously. Captured a lot of... Is it 2012? Is it 2012? Could be, but it isn't. No. What's the problem with 2012? All the stuff after Sasha crashes the plane. Yeah. High Fidelity? No. High Fidelity's fine. It's fine. It's not as good as the book. Say Anything? No. As much as I very much enjoyed the concept of Ione Sky as a young man, no. Better Off Dead. He's skiing on one ski. No. And him fighting the cockroach with a frying pan. Love it. Caldo's got it. 1408 is an absolute banger. Love 1408. But no, it's Hot Tub Flipping Time Machine. I can watch that over... The end credits roll on Hot Tub Time Machine, I'll quite happily put it straight back in again. Yeah. Grosse Point Blank's great. Yeah. Serendipity's okay. Con Air. Con Air is insanity in movie form. Yeah. 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 The Hot Tub Time Machine is crass. It is very crass. But the funny continues to be funny. But it's not fall on the floor funny. It's just funny. And they nail dialogue of how people actually talk as friends. The central premise is good. Chevy Chase doing the cameo. I mean, I'm not a Chevy Chase fan, but Chevy Chase's cameo is so perfectly well done. Craig Robinson is a flipping delight, and he delivers his lines so well. It's not even like he gets the best lines, but he delivers them beautifully. Yeah. And it creeps up. Herself and I watched. We happened to find Hot Tub Time Machine was on. We went like, oh, I'll just stick this on and see what it's like. And we were both like, this movie is so much better than it has any right to be. No, it's genuinely good. It's a genuinely enjoyable movie. The interesting thing is the sequel. They don't have John Cusack in the sequel, and he produced the first one. I'm sure the first one made its money back. And the reason he produced it was so he got extra points. Because I suspect they needed him in there to buy some credibility. The plot of Hot Tub Time Machine doesn't make any sense either, so don't worry about that. The scene at the start, I think this scene is what sums up for me why it is so well written, right? John Cusack's having a crap day. He's come home. His nephew is currently staying with him, living in his basement, and his nephew is playing Second Life, and this will take some explaining as to why this is so well written, or why it's written by someone who gets the subject matter, right? So it's Clark Duke who plays if you don't know who he is, you'll recognize him when you see him. He's been in quite a few things. He's an interesting choice actually, but anyway, he's playing Second Life, and John Cusack goes like, why don't you stop playing that Second Life, insert expletive, and go and do something else instead. And he goes like, oh, I did. Sorry, can I? Clark says, I'm paraphrasing heavily and badly. He goes, oh no, I can't come with you right now. I've got an important court date in 20 minutes. And he goes, are you still in jail? You were in jail last week. Can't you go and play something else and be like an orc or a shaman or a general or something? And he goes, no. And I kind of go like, I'm doing hard time, and if you can't do the time, don't do the crime. Words to that effect. Now, I summarised that badly, and you might go, huh, if you've not seen it. The point of it is, it doesn't feel obliged to explain what Second Life is, or make it sound weird, that someone is playing video games. It is the normalization of video games as a thing that people do without stigmatizing playing of video games. That's not why I like the movie, but it is a really good example of the sensibility of the writers normalizing things that normal people do. Whereas quite a lot of Hollywood writing, particularly in comedies, still say, weird, at things that used to be slightly alternative culture. Being a video gamer used to be slightly alternative culture. Not anymore. No. Now it's normal. It is entirely normal. So that's the it's the style and the standard of the writing. Literally, he's literally playing Second Life, but he's in prison because he did something in the game, and so he's waiting for a court date. He's doing press-ups in his cell, and he's waiting for his court date. It's a bit of an exaggeration over what you get up to in Second Life, or it would be a very severe roleplay area from Second Life. But even so, that was that's not an unrealistic experience in the game, but it's treated as that's not weird. That's a thing people do, and it's not treated as being other. It's treated as being normal, and that kind of follows through with the way a ton of stuff is handled within the movie, and it's really it delivers as a result. It's not a great movie, but it is, as herself said, much better than it has any right to be. I mean, there are a couple of fourth wall breaks in there, and that's okay. They're not needed. But it's good. The sequel, not as good. John Cusack, not in the sequel. But knowing what I know of John Cusack, he tends to do one popcorn movie, right? A Hollywood pleaser popcorn movie, which will then fund his ability to go and do something he deems worthy. And that's a fine way to be. Still think it would have been better had he been in the sequel, but hey, the sequel's all right. It's the same writers, but it's just not, it doesn't quite deliver. The other problem, of course, John Cusack's character in the first one has no character. He's written as, it's John Cusack, and that's all it is. You're going to go, it's just John Cusack. Weird. Yeah, there you go. Thus endeth today's movie segment of the show. So those three movies I can watch on repeat quite happily, because all three of them are it feels like going to the gym. This is going to sound so strange to people. They will either get it or they'll think you're a total Fruit Loop. So why does it feel like going to the gym? You go to the gym to better yourself, right? Physically, right? To shed a bit, to gain a bit, whatever it is that you're going to go for. The reason I watch these is because I see them as mental training, or they feel like betterment of self in some fashion, either in an inspirational training kind of fashion, or in a this is what charisma looks like kind of fashion. It feels like a very gentle, easygoing, you're good at this, you find it enjoyable workout. I did say it didn't make sense. It's the best way I could describe it. It's like wearing a comfortable pair of pajamas, all right? But at the same time, it feels like there's a benefit to it. Goon, for example, is just superb at sharp, incisive, spot-on dialogue. Someone mentioned Dodgeball earlier on. That's not a bad suggestion either. But again, I need a break from it Otherwise, I can recite the lines. Now, I could probably recite the lines from the 3 movies I have cited here, but equally, I think they still have the ability to catch me off guard. There you go. That's it. There you are. Good. What do you want to talk about now? Carl, you got 10 minutes and then I'm calling it forever. Anyway, I'm not back next weekend. And then the weekend after, I'm going to switch either to some colony building with little people who I can give bespoke names kind of a thing, or a standard normal every day is the usual kind of day management game. Won't be a simulator, won't be first person. Whatever it is. It'll be one of those two. We'll do a stint in one of them. Exactly what, haven't decided yet. I think leading the way is probably 2 Point Museum. Probably. It's a combination of relatability, mindlessness and wit. Certainly. Next topic's music. That's a big topic. Upper Mine, says Pika. Please, it's the Upper Mine. Yeah, all right. I'll go up there after this load. I warn you, though, it hasn't changed much since the stream. Will the first game allow Dozaverse universe characters? Dunno. Maybe. Dunno. If it does, great. If it doesn't, it'd be nice if it did. But I am attempting, because once in a while I try and force it, and it can be a bit obvious when I've forced it. When I do it gently, I gently Dozaverse things, you end up, that I've ended up going, oh, I wish I'd Dozaverse this more before we started. And it's a knife edge. If you force it, you get all the Dozaverse stuff in there, but then the game often doesn't properly deliver. And you pull the plug early and go, shouldn't have bothered. If you don't Dozaverse it, then the game ends up being much more suited. And there's a lump there. Where's Billy Bulldozer to Billy Smoothertron to sort that out? Have you gone the right way? No, I missed the turning. We're smoothing out to the quarry. Okay. Don't think much of this bit. Shut up. You aren't doing the work. Well, I'm just saying, if you're going to do it right? Don't cut corners. I'll make it perfect. Esport, says Michael. I'm waiting for there's an esport manager game coming out soon. Esport team manager game, which is a management game, which I'm looking forward to. Because it could be quite good fun. The problem is the ones that have done that so far haven't understood, or they haven't focused on what I would see as the constituent part of it, which is it's a sports management game, right? And therefore the thing that they're playing is much less important than it being a sports management game. I'll also do some more tape when a few more updates have come out for that game, because tape to tape is wonderful and I love it. I've been itching to go play it again. I wish there was a team building mode in it. I wish. Oh, that's just Ed whacking things with a shovel. This bit is still very steep. That is not a happy incline. And you kind of go, well, yeah, but you're getting up there. You go, yeah, but you have to think of it in terms of, but will you get a dump truck up here? The answer is, with difficulty. 2 Point Museum allows you to change character names. Okay, then I will. Yes. Okay. All right. Good. Onwards. Right. Let's perambulate up to the top level. Wow, someone's dedicated. They brought a road roller all the way up here. Because the roller is super slow. Okay. There's Daz giving it some spade action. Lovely old job. Right, up we go. Oh, Exia's top side. Using the top mine. Nice. Okay, good. Now, the original, for those of you who've not tuned in every single week, I mean, firstly, I don't blame you, but you may want to be filled in on the original objective. The original objective was to build the road all the way up to the top mine. And as you've seen already from the road that exists up to the lower mine, that was quite an ask. So, yeah, it was maybe a smidge ambitious. And then I got obsessed with looking for stone so that we could build concrete stuff. Right, here's the upper mine. It was mostly, was it me and Exia or me and Hex? I think were up here extensively or almost exclusively early on. That's a dump off point that drops into the point up there. We were processing material up here for a little while as well. But no longer. Right, and then you can work your way around here. It's quite nice. It's quite a nice location. There we go. Here's all the original stuff. Except there's a truck up here now. Well, I never. There you go. There's the toilet. I built this. Oh, that's good, isn't it? Ah, someone else has built the this is the reverser method. It's the overflow method. Because there are no switches and turning your conveyor systems on and off is a pain. The trick is out the back of the last dropper, you drop it back into the start. And that makes it work. That's where Skip went looking for anything flipping usable. It's a really deep hole, and he didn't find anything. He went looking for stone, couldn't find any. Exia seems to be hollowing out the edges. Fair enough. Nothing wrong with that. But here's the original mine. It's not super big. I think the quarry is actually larger, but that's because we're using the material that comes out of it. Yeah, but this is all copper. I think the materials need to be a little bit more clearly defined visually. Just with a little bit of hewing. Wasn't this my tunnel? Yeah. This is the episode 1 tunnel. Right here. Oh, what the vertical tunnel? No, that was Skip's. I built lots of them elsewhere in the hunt for stone until I found some. So there you go. That's the top end. We will use this clearly demarked viewing point to look over all that we survey and own. It's actually looking kind of cool. It is looking kind of cool. So there's the road. Yeah. There's some more road. Dralu is over there near the... Oh, no. Yeah. That's the quarry down there. Yeah. Daz is at the lower mine. Huh? Cool. And the plan would be, were we to continue with this, is to mine down in a way that vehicles could handle from the upper to the lower mine. Liam with a fire in the hole. We've done a lot of fire in the hole. I did some fire in the hole earlier, Liam. You don't need more fire in the hole today. It's fine. All right, there you go. Can I drop through the hole? Go on. Nope. Boo. There you go. A rally competition at the end of the stream? Nah. It won't be interesting enough. I won't stop you happy-go-lucky fools doing it, but I'm not going to dedicate camera time to it. Yeah, there you go. That's it. I think I'm spent. I think I'm done. I think I'm all out of business for today. You want to fire in a hole? All right, hang on. I'll put a hole in here. There you go. Hole. Blanc. Fire in there. There you go. Right. Yeah, I know. I'm not even going to look at what damage it did because it won't be very much. And then, oh, hold on. We're dropping into the grate here. Have we got a double dropper where you turn it on? They're both dropping into the same grate. No, hold on. This pulls from that grate, goes round and drops back in again. And obviously, if you've got a truck underneath it, it catches. If you haven't got a truck underneath it, it doesn't catch. What's in there at the moment then? Coal. It doesn't seem to be feeding through very quickly. Oh, maybe maybe Dad's just turned it on. Ah, right. Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah. So that's the standard methodology is you plop your truck underneath, pick up the stuff, and then run it off there later. Am I going to continue with Parcel Simulator? Nah. It didn't grab me. I'll be honest. Didn't grab me, Parcel Sim. That's not my truck. I brought a different truck up here, and it was far messier, unless someone's boosted my truck, leaving that one behind. Oh well, I'll jump it. Good, there you go. That's it. We're done here. So again, another reminder: I won't be here next week. For I'm driving daughters around the country to various different places. But I will be back the week after, where it's likely we'll be doing some museum hostery. Yeah. Any more wizards to come? No plans at the current time. More video is to come, most definitely. I've got something planned for Fail Brigade that should deliver. Can we make it deliver this week? It's not outside the realm of possibility that it delivers this week. That I think you'll enjoy, Fail Brigadists. And of course, reduced. And I may release the thing I released to Fail Brigade subsequently to the general public, but only if I think it's good enough. Ooh, bold. Right, good. Thank you very much for watching. I will talk to you soon, and that'll be super. Oh, yeah, I'm very flagging. Sorry, I'm flagging. Talk to you later. Cheerio.